Ta-da! It worked. Alright, and I got to turn on the background music. Oh, fuck. Alright, chat will have to let me know if it is too loud or if it needs to go up. It's supposed to be kind of ambient. Alright. First, right off the bat, will Napoleon Bonaparte's be making an appearance? Up a hair in general. Okay. Okay. That sounds really loud to me, but maybe it's just because it's in my ears. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Trying to make this a weekly thing. Yeah, we took some feedback from the last stream and kind of streamlined some things. Yeah, I kind of want to just do my little what was it that Captain America did? He like put his leg up on the chair and was like, "We need to have a talk, son," or something like that. Just kind of a back and forth a little bit before we get into the heart of the stream. So for those of you that were here last stream, there was an air conditioning unit that was back here, and there is no longer an air conditioning unit that is back here. Our AC got fixed, and it is great. You're not my real dad. The squill. I was trying to look for where he's at. Momo. You're the star of the stream, not me. Sure. Of course. Of course. Okay, so the other thing is, we got this nice cat tower back here. That is, my birthday gift to Momo. I've never gotten him a birthday gift, so this is the one that he will get. It's also 6 months after his birthday, so take that as you will. Other than that, what else is up? I don't think there's anything up. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing this, and if we continue to keep having fun, we have a lot of ideas cooking, as well as other guests to do some tier lists with. And yeah, let's bring in today's guest, who happens to be the same guest as last week. Azura, are you there?
Hello. I was trying to make it seem like I wasn't connected.
Are you there, Azura?
Hello? Am I muted?
No.
Oh,
I got you back.
You did.
Oh man. Okay. Let's just get right into it. We're trying not to. Last stream took 6 hours to get through Kanto. We have 50 less Pokemon, and hoping to do it in like a third of the time.
52 less Pokemon.
Thank you, Miss Pedantic. Yeah, why don't you just do the stream? I'm just trying to be a good host, and you're just over here stealing my thunder. You want my cat while you're at it? You can have him. I don't want him.
I have too many cats already, or else I would.
Oh, I forgot it's dinner time. That's why he's not over here. He's pigging out over there. Don't worry. He will make an appearance sooner or later. So, Azura, were you watching the stream at all? Was the with the audio on? Did you hear if the music was too loud?
Let me go back over.
It just feels really loud in my head. Not too loud. It's V quiet. Thank you. Also, V. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Not really. I wish. No, I don't wish. I don't wish that for Momo. Okay. So, if you guys are new to the stream, we are going to be doing a tier list of all of Gen 2 Pokemon based on designs only. We are not taking into consideration competitive use, Nuzlocke use in a regular gameplay, shinies, anything like that. We are just looking at these Pokemon and saying if they're ugly or not, and if they're a cute kind of ugly. I heard him. Anyway. Azura! You're up first. How do you feel about... Can we get a tier list of the tiers at some point? Only if I am currently crying, so that there are 3 times tiers. No, what we're actually thinking about doing is once we're done with all the gens, doing like our bottom of the bottom and then tier listing those. So like everything that ends up in the soup of F tier of just like the worst things known to man, and then doing the same with S plus if we have enough S plus. Right now, I think I only have like 4 Pokemon in S plus, and Azura has 5. So, but we'll see. Anyway, Chikorita.
My infinite wisdom. It's a C tier Pokemon. I like the leaf on its head, but other than the leaf on its head, it's just a little. It's Bulbasaur 2.0.
It is Bulbasaur 2.0. Okay.
If you are moving it, you did it on the wrong side.
I haven't moved it at all.
Oh, okay.
You haven't given me a tier.
I said C tier.
You said D tier?
C.
C tier. Okay. Maybe I just can't hear, which would be par for the course. C tier for Chikorita. I think for me, I think I'm a little bit kinder to the starters in this generation. I think they're all very memorable designs and unique among what they do. If just a little guy is a Pokemon. And while I don't want the anime or anything to influence our design, it is hard to not look at Chikorita and just think of it nuzzling Ash and being really cutesy with Ash. And while I hear your explanation with Bulbasaur and it being Bulbasaur 2.0, I think that it's very much drastically different from Bulbasaur. Chikorita to me is a much more sleek design where Bulbasaur looks more like a tank. When we get to Meganium, that is probably to the downfall of Meganium. But I think Chikorita stands to be. I think I'm going to start them in B tier with wiggle room. I think that this will solely depend on how I feel about the rest of the Pokemon, but I think that it's upper middle of the pack. Now, that being said, how do you feel about Bayleaf?
Actually, like Bayleaf. If I put Chikorita in a C tier, I'd put Bayleaf in a B tier.
B tier for Bayleaf and C tier for Chikorita. I see what you got going on.
For me, it's like you were saying, like you were saying about Chikorita and nuzzling Ash and stuff. I remember the Celebi movie, and he had the Bayleaf.
True.
And it just like. I like the middle stage evolution of Chikorita. I'm not a big fan of the base or final evolution. Yeah.
So
that's pretty much what I gotta say.
Alphabet tier list. So one thing I didn't mention with Chikorita is I kind of like the little necklace it has going on. I think it makes it it maybe effeminate is the wrong word, but it gives it a little bit more personality. And I think that is a common theme among the Gen 2 starters, is that where the Gen 1 starters all kind of just exist and they're just there. It's just a fire lizard. It's just a turtle. These kind of have a little bit more personality. They have, just like Zach said in chat, pizzazz. Jazz hands.
Whoever said just a little guy, that's all 3 starters.
I don't think Totodile counts as a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
I think Bayleaf deserves same tier as Chikorita for me. I think they're both pretty well designed. And while Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur kind of failed on the whole dinosaur fantasy, I think Chikorita and Bayleaf at least look a little more dinosaur-like. But while drawing that same comparison, I think that it's also, much easier to compare the two. And I'm glad that next gen we get grass starters that aren't dinosaurs. Zach says, Cyndaquil, just a little guy, maybe arson. Totodile, just a little guy, and maybe meth. If Florida guy was a fucking Pokemon, it looks like Feraligatr. Okay, Meganium.
I like the flower of Meganium, but I don't like anything else about it. I still think it's a redeemable design.
Don't dare talk shit about Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur actually was probably, out of all three of the Gen 1 starters, were probably our highest tiered, was the Bulbasaur line.
Yeah, I think so. I think Ivysaur lost some points, but...
I have found the cat.
Anyways, Meganium I'm probably going to put in... It's still redeemable, so I'm going to put it in C tier with Chikorita, but I'm going to put it below Chikorita.
Also, if your mic is too loud in your ears but quiet on stream, I can help you work on it when you're off stream. Okay. I think it's just because I have all of my desktop audio coming through on Streamlabs. So, I'm sorry, what ranking did you give Meganium?
C tier below Chikorita.
C tier below Chikorita. Your music, not Mike. Oh, yeah. Ignore that Bulba sounded like they walked off and... Why you gotta use words that are gonna make me sound stupid? Emphysema? Emphysema, is that the right pronunciation? Usually I have Zach correct me on my pronunciations during the podcast, but he's the one cursing me right now. Nailed it. Okay, Meganium. Okay, here's my problem. Here's my problem, and I feel it already coming on. Gen 2 is, we didn't really go into this very much, like we did with Gen 1, but Gen 2 is where I got my Pokemon journey started, and so I feel the nostalgia for this generation, and I think thus I'm going to feel very nostalgic and very highly for these Pokemon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I say that because I don't think Meganium's that bad of a design, but I wonder if I were to place this with Kanto Pokemon, if it would be higher than D tier. But I just can't really come to hate Meganium. Like, it's basic, but it's like Meg is C, but D makes sense. Yeah, it's very basic, but it has enough flair to it to make it not super basic like a Charmander. And I think this is another Pokemon that is going to change depending on what goes around it, kind of like Chikorita. I feel pretty firmly about Bayleaf being B tier, but I think Chikorita and Meganium have room to move.
Cyndaquil. No, I get it completely.
Oh, sorry.
Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil for me is S tier.
S tier, straight to S.
I love Cyndaquil. S for Cyndaquil.
Meganium is S plus. There he is. There he is, folks.
Which one?
Austin.
Yeah, Cyndaquil is definitely an S. I wouldn't put it in S plus just because those are like my all-time favorites. And even though I really like Cyndaquil, it's not my all-time favorite, you know?
Okay.
I think he just does everything right for me. You know, whereas Charmander is just, a little fire lizard. Yeah, it's just a little fire hedgehog.
Nothing
but it gains those bonus points. It gains those extra points because it has, especially in the 3D sprites and stuff, its fire comes out like only sporadically. It's not a constant fire like Charmander's tail.
Okay. I'll fight you. Is that all you have to say about Cyndaquil?
Yeah.
Okay. You trailed off like you were about to give me your college dissertation about the fire coming out of its back.
That's why I stopped. I was like, we don't need to have this whole conversation.
I mean, it's what we're here for, honestly. So for me, I think Cyndaquil. I'm trying to not play contrarian, and maybe that's to the detriment. Is like having you go first, and then I want to be contrarian with it. But I don't know if I'm actually that big a fan of Cyndaquil as a design. I think that I actually liked it pre 3D, where it just always had the fire erupting out of its back. I thought it looked a lot cooler when it doesn't have any fire coming out of its back and it just has like those little heater vents. I think it looks kind of silly. Caleb, we gotta talk.
I mean, hey, it's okay to be wrong.
That being said, I do think that overall the Cyndaquil line is better than the Chikorita line, but I think Cyndaquil goes high B for me. Wiggle room to go up to A, but I can't place it in S. I can't place it any higher than A, I think.
Okay.
It's like a mohawk. The Hat Man will hear of this. You'll have to wait a month and a half before you get that reference. Speaking of, since Zach and everybody is in chat, we're just gonna go ahead and ba-bam! Look at that. We have a command for it. So if you want to hear Zach and I ramble on and on and on about SCPs and stuff, please go click that link and check out the podcast because we put a lot of effort into it. And yeah. Anyway, Quilava.
So, even though I really like Cyndaquil, Quilava I still like, but the longness of its body just kind of is not it for me.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have to put Quilava in B tier with Bayleaf.
B tier for wait, that was my stream. B tier for Bayleaf. Are you feeling better about Quilava than Bayleaf, or are we feeling like Bayleaf
No, I'd put it below.
Okay.
It's not that it necessarily does anything wrong. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I can see that. For me, I think Quilava is actually my favorite of the three. And I think when we get to Typhlosion, I'll have to reevaluate that. But Quilava, my first playthrough of Pokemon Crystal, Cyndaquil was my starter, and Quilava is the one that sticks out to me the most from this evolution line. As like the personification of the move Flame Wheel, which was a Gen 2 move. And
I was just gonna say that.
It literally looks like Flame Wheel was invented specifically for this Pokemon. And I love that for it, and I really like that it has the 2 different fire spots on it. Yeah, I think this is definitely a high A tier for me.
Okay.
As of right now, it is definitely the best of the 3, but we'll see when I can think a little bit more about Typhlosion. Speaking of
Typhlosion, Typhlosion's probably my favorite final stage evolution of Gen 2. I mean, I used to go Totodile every time I played Gen 2, but then I actually started using Cyndaquil and I realized he's just a cute little guy. That being said, just like you were saying about how you like Cyndaquil's early pre or 2D ones, I like Typhlosion's 2D sprite way better than his 3D.
Oh, 100%. He
just looks like a bear instead of like a flame bear.
Yeah, no, they definitely did Typhlosion dirty. So dirty that they had to remake. Do we need to cover Hisuian forms?
I think we're gonna do that when we when we start going a little bit further. I think we should do like a regional
you know what?
form.
We didn't do it for Kanto, so we should stick with it. But yeah, they did Typhlosion so dirty. 3D Typhlo looks like Craig from accounting. Slapped some glasses on him. But they did Typhlosion so wrong in the 3D version that they had to give him a permanent collar in the Hisuian form. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to put Typhlosion. I think he's gonna have to go A tier.
A
Because
tier.
even though he looks bad in 3D, he's still my favorite of the three.
I have to look up what the fucking Gen 9 version of Typhlosion. Oh my god, Typhlosion, no. Oh, he's so ugly. Okay, pop quiz about Typhlosion real quick. How tall do you think Typhlosion is?
Oh man, I want to say he's taller than Charizard, but I don't think he is. I want to say he's
Sonic
like
ass wannabe hedgehog.
4. I want to say he's like 4'4".
So Charizard is
4'11".
4'11", yeah. Typhlosion can look down on Charizard by a vast margin. Typhlosion is 5'7".
Oh yeah.
Which, when you look at those two Pokemon, one of them seems
Which one
imposing.
looks bigger?
Yeah. When you look at the art of Charizard and you look at the art of Typhlosion, you expect Typhlosion to be smaller.
Oh, especially when you take in his 3D model.
And for that, it's going below Bayleaf for me.
Really?
I am actually almost putting it in D tier. Actually, I think I'm just, the shock value of that is throwing me off a little bit, and its 3D sprite is horrendous. And even though it has a pretty cool 2D sprite, they did it so dirty that it's almost unforgivable. I was
Okay.
close. Mobile viewing.
I mean,
actually,
I
now
guess
that I think about
part
it,
of
it's going C tier. It's going C tier.
I think part of it for me
Bro's hating
is
short kings.
Cyndaquil is the one I chose in Heart Gold and Soul Silver,
Mm-hmm.
and so having it follow me around was also just like super cool for my little child brain.
That's the thing. That's the thing is, I think Typhlosion has a cool design. I think there is a cool design there, but I think that it fails on all fronts that it's trying to deliver on. It doesn't look as imposing as Charizard. It is completely destroyed by its 3D sprite. It just looks like a little fucking weasel. And it doesn't look like it'd be a weasel that's taller than the average man.
Real quick, I do have to say, did you know that he shares the
But he is
exact
a
same
weasel.
stats as Charizard?
Same stats as Charizard?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, that makes sense. There's a reason that Typhlosion is not a good Pokemon competitively. It does Charizard, but worse. Anyway.
I mean, Charizard has 4 times weakness to rock.
That's true. Anyway, competitive Pokemon is not the topic of today's video. Methed out Florida man.
Totodile. Totodile's an A tier.
Yeah.
He's a little bitey guy.
Is he better or worse than Typhlosion? Screams personality.
I have a soft spot for the base starter Pokemon. So unfortunately, even though I love Typhlosion, it's going above Typhlosion.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say about it? Do you want to defend your viewpoint before I put him in F tier?
He's just a little bitey guy.
He's just a little bitey guy.
There's really nothing I can say about him. He's just a little fucking 2-legged crocodile.
All right. JD's and Lentilman, we have our first S+.
Oh, he's going an S+ for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
If that white girl in the club was a Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, even chat is just, all about it. I think thinking about what my S+ tiers were last time, they are simplistic designs that ooze personality, that also you can tell how it can move, and like I think that Totodile is a perfectly designed Pokemon. Like, just looking at this sprite, looking at its 3D models, looking at its 2D models, like this is a messed up little guy. Somebody gave this man just too much cocaine, and that's what happens. That's what happens when you vacation in Florida and you let a crocodile get into your shit. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think there is an S+ in Kanto for me. Meganium is A for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to put Totodile in S below Cyndaquil.
Below Cyndaquil. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think like, I mean, there's a reason that like 9 times out of 10 you're playing through Johto for the first time, you're picking Totodile. It's the one, you know, Zach said it best in chat. Screams personality, in that the personality is screaming. Like, this is a loud, right, obnoxious, this is a toddler who has had too much sugar and is teething. Oh, nope, thank you, Zach. He just pointed out that the stream says that it is the Kanto Pokemon tier list and not the Johto Pokemon tier list.
Oh.
How do I fix that? There we go. Johto. Oops, I smacked the fuck out of my microphone. You know, all the Totodiles running around Kanto. Famously where Totodiles are from. Okay, Croconaw. How you feeling about Croconaw?
In terms of middle stage evolutions, it's better than Quilava. Not as good as Bayleaf, in my opinion. And it kind of... Give me a second to look.
Austin
it takes
says,
everything
if you put
Totodile
Hoot in anything other than F this dumb bird tier, I'm unmodding myself.
Croconaw takes what Totodile was going for and does not do it. It looks like Totodile, but got off meth and got dad bod.
He's the Totodile that went to AA.
Yeah. He's going below in C tier.
Totodile is Mardi Gras. Me at Mardi Gras. Crocodile is me dealing with the hangover the week after.
Right. For alligator is you going back.
Okay, so Crocodile is D.
I said C below.
No, I know. I'm saying for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it just completely, especially comparing it to Feraligatr, who is just like, I mean, another great design, which we'll get to, but like, it does feel like they just designed a different Pokemon. The like weird white that kind of overlaps his body, like, where is that coming from? Because it goes away for Feraligatr as well. What it looks like is that they were like, Feraligatr is, listen, Susan, I'm going to see my kids. No, Totodile is me at Mardi Gras. Crocodile is me dealing with the hangover the next week. And then Feraligatr is three years later, me avoiding the restraining order trying to watch my kid's baseball game. But no, it like, so the coloring of Croconaw makes it look like it's an egg. It almost looks like what Togepi is, where it has that egg kind of around it.
Yeah. And
like, why is it there? I just don't think it's a very good design. I don't think it transitions very well between Totodile and Feraligatr. Honestly, it's really forgettable, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to watch Little League and fist fighting the ref. So let's yeah, the main attraction here. How are you feeling about Feraligatr?
S tier.
S tier. Above or
Uh,
below?
below Totodile.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say about it? You want to defend your viewpoint?
I think we've said enough.
Yeah.
He is Totodile, but just third evolution.
Exactly. No, he looks like the final stage of Totodile. He looks
No,
like
that being
Totodile all
said,
grown up.
he would go in S plus, but I kind of wish instead of being so, I'm gonna say humanoid, even though it's not really humanoid. I wish it looked more dinosaur. You know, something more like a Spino or something like that.
Have you seen the spikes on its back?
Well, I'm just talking like it's very like standing up straight instead
He's
of the whole
squaring up.
bipedal. But that's the thing. He would be an S plus, but I have a better design in my head for him.
Nah. Okay. You're almost convincing me that he needs to go in S plus tier. I'm actually trying to
You're like,
find. I'm
this is
trying to
peak.
find. He literally looks like Shia LaBeouf going, "Do it." Like, I'm having a hard time like trying to think of a negative about Feraligatr, other than the fact that he doesn't have the cuteness of Totodile and he just looks like meth incarnate. Make your dreams come true.
He definitely looks like he's like, I didn't hear no bell, ref.
Exactly. There's
Come
a
on, that was
strong
a
possibility.
foul.
There's a strong possibility for Alligator ends up S plus tier at the end of this as well. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Okay, now moving on to designs that maybe are not as great. How do you feel about Sentret?
Sentret, not that good. What is my Lunaris fight?
This stream is very interesting when you don't know a single thing about Pokemon and you just sit here like, bro's just a little fighting guy. That's the best part. Since you don't have the experience of what these guys are, you can just be like, yeah, that does look like a methed out crocodile. Sentret.
Sentret. I think Sentret's my first D tier.
Okay. You know, it's interesting. I was re-watching the VOD today, and for the last tier list, and like all my Pokemon were concentrated in like ABC for the first little bit, and then like kind of spread out. Yours have been doing that this time. I mean, we have a few S tiers already, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to not have a few S tiers.
I'm just waiting for Rock Guy to show up. Yeah. How do you want to talk about Sentret at all? Or we just kind of...
He's just... I don't know. I don't like the fact that he stands on his tail. The fact that I think he's supposed to be like a raccoon.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be a tanuki.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like raccoons?
I don't like the design. I love raccoons. I just don't like that design. Where did I just get messaged from?
Yeah, I think for me, Sentret also lands D tier. I think that it being up on its tail makes no sense to me. I think of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon when it walks on its actual like hands and feet, and it looks a little bit better then. But it being up on its tail, and it also goes up on its tail in 3D as well. Like this is the same games that made Purloin stand up and stuff like that, and like removed the badassery of Typhlosion, and they still make Sentret make absolutely no fucking sense. Now I will say, much like Rattata, Sentret can learn Thunderbolt, and I think that's hilarious.
Shit.
Speaking of raccoons that can learn Blizzard, Furret.
Okay. I got a
Exactly.
question.
If it's trying to be a raccoon, it's an F because an actual raccoon is cute, both cuter and scarier.
Right? I think of like even Zigzagoon is a better raccoon in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one big question for you.
Okay.
Who do you think is bigger? A almost dragon looking but not dragon type lizard or a literal ferret?
Furret is gigantic. I know that.
Ferret is 5'11".
Now, okay, here's the problem, and this is the same thing with like Gyarados and like Milotic and stuff like that. Like, they count the length of the Pokemon, and like Ferret's gonna be longer because of that. Like, I'm sure a regular ferret's like 3 feet long if you stretch it out.
A regular ferret's like 1.5 feet. I used to own them.
Yeah, exactly. That's longer than some snakes.
Yeah,
But like, you wouldn't say that a ferret is taller than my cat.
I wouldn't say a ferret is longer than Momo anyways. Momo's a long cat.
Momo is a gigantic cat. He like will sometimes put his paws up on my desk and trying to jump up, and my desk is like 2.5, 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Anyways, but yeah, so ferret, 5'11", going below Typhlosion in A tier. I like ferret.
Okay.
And I really don't have an explanation for it.
You don't have an explanation for it?
Really.
But
I mean, other than the fact that he kind of looks like Crowley, which was one of my favorites.
Oh.
And he was just big and stupid.
Get out. I think Ferret probably belongs in C tier. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. It might move down to D tier. But I'm having a hard time, like... It's just there for me. It's a ferret. Like, literally, they're not really doing too much different with it. It doesn't strike me as, like, a Pokemon. It just strikes me as a wild animal.
No, I definitely get your point of view. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I used to own ferrets, it'd probably be a little bit lower.
Yeah, I also have no affinity for ferrets. I hate ferrets. Speaking of things I absolutely hate. Hoot hoot.
Alright, how bad do we want Austin to not be a mod anymore?
That's up to you. I'm pretty staunchly on his side.
I think we should just skip this one for me.
Is it about to be your first S+?
No, he's D tier. He's not soup.
He's not
He's
soup.
still low. He's still low, but he's not soup.
Really? You're putting Hoot in D tier?
Yes.
Okay. You want to talk about it?
Stupid round owl. But it's not... I don't hate it to the point that I think it shouldn't exist. Like, that's kind of where my soup is it's like, get out of my game, never come back. D is like, you can stay, but if I see you, you're catching these hands. D tier is Kulu Yaku. So yeah, unfortunately it is going to be just D tier. It's gonna be like bottom D tier, no matter how bad it is. But yeah,
I put Hoot in B tier.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of like the design of it. It's not quite. It's still mid as far as designs go, but it's 3D sprite with bouncing from one foot to the other. I think it's pretty unique. In 2D, it looks like it just has one foot. You're right, it does look like a volleyball. But I think that is to the benefit of Hoot Hoot and not to the detriment. Because there's not very many bird Pokemon that look like it.
I'm waiting for Austin to comment, if he is still here, about the bootability.
I'm gonna need you to step up. The bootability. He does have quite a bootable face.
Like, he is just a soccer ball.
Yeah, no, and you know what? He's probably a soccer ball filled with helium. You know, it'd take a while for him to hit the
come
ground.
back down.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really hate Hoot Toot. And I think he's just mid. I think he's mid.
Okay.
Noctowl.
Question
Unmodding myself.
and not because I'm like I actually need it's gonna judge anything. Did Ash have a shiny Noctowl?
He did, yes.
Okay, so that's not like people are just saying that because they look so similar.
No, it's like it's actually shiny.
Okay. I actually kind of like Noctowl. When I think of an owl Pokemon, it's kind of the one I think of. Like, it looks like a good owl. And I love owls. So, I'm going to put him below Typhlosion in A.
Below Typhlosion in A. Okay. It's probably B tier for me. Oh, go ahead.
I also think you put Furret in the wrong place.
I put Furret in the wrong place?
Like, for me.
Didn't you say it was B tier?
I'm pretty sure I said he was below Typhlosion in A.
Oh, you know what? Quilava and Typhlosion look enough alike.
I'd put him above Noctowl.
Okay. Noctowl's D for me. I think they had the chance to make Noctowl really cool. And then, like, design-wise, it's just an owl with angry eyebrows. And unlike, you know, like a Meganium or something that is basic, it doesn't have enough flair to differentiate itself. Plus, Noctowl should have been a psychic type. It should have been flying psychic. Yeah. It learns psychic. It learns confusion by level up. Noctowl is cool because of interesting builds. Special defense tank with HP out the ass. Exactly. Like, and it has like a decent special attack stat as well. Like, this Pokemon was let down by being a flying normal type, and where Hoot Hoot is cool because it kind of subverts the bird expectation up to this point. You know, like minus Doduo, every other bird is just a bird. Hoot Hoot is a bird, but it's a round burb. I think it weirdly helps it though. It wipes ghosts. True. I just think that I think if Hoot Hoot was a psychic type and like maybe had a little bit different coloration, like if it was a little bit of a bluish tinge to instead of the dark brown or something like that, I think I would be placing it much higher. So it's D tier because it has potential that I feel let down upon. How do you feel about punching ladybugs?
Honestly, this is kind of what I was saying when we were talking
Clarify.
at some point. It Gen 2,
Ladybugs
I
that
have
punch.
Gen 2 has a lot of Pokemon.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Gen 2 has a lot of Pokemon that I just don't really have opinions about. And,
if you're about to tell me you
is
don't have an
great
opinion
example.
about Spinarak, I'm gonna hurt you.
I like Spinarak. No, but like Ladybug and Ledian.
Right, those are the ones we're talking about.
I'm gonna have to put them in C tier both, just because I'm neither way with them.
A feisty ladybug. Okay, well let's look at Ladybug. Let's see here. Ladybug is exactly 1 meter tall, 3 foot 3 inches.
Damn.
Where it weighs 23 pounds.
That's a fat ladybug.
Yeah. Yeah, did that influence your thought at all?
Not really. I forget Ladybug exists.
A feisty ladybug. Lady N reminds me of the great Siamon. Siamon? Zach, I'm sorry. Sometimes these references just. B, if they don't lift it, shell to punch. F, if it does. Shell is the wrong word. I understand. Like, Ladybug is a very forgettable design. Gohan's superhero alter ego in DBZ. Okay. Ladybug is a Pokemon that is fairly forgettable. But I really like its cry. I think its cry is really cool. I mean, it's a ladybug with fists. I hate the color scheme of that bug Pokemon.
See, I think
it is a ladybug.
I think Ledian has a little bit more going for it because it looks less like just a ladybug. But like, you say Ladybug has fists, and to me, it just looks like a ladybug with gloves, maybe.
Oh my god! Latian is 4'7" and 78 pounds. If you would have told me that Latian was bigger,
as big as Charizard.
Yeah, if you would have told me that Latian is bigger than Ladybug, I wouldn't have believed you.
Holy, okay, Ledian might have to go up to B.
Big bug.
For big bug.
Yeah, I think the thing that makes Ladybug cool of, like, you know, being like this cute little bug that also punches the shit out of you, is lost on me with the Ledian. It looks more like a bug trying to be a Power Ranger, which is a cool enough design that lands it above Meganium for me. But being a Kaiman Rider ladybug that punches shit, it's alright. I think Ladybug is a better design. Spitters.
Spinarak is S+.
S+, okay.
That's coming from someone who's arachnophobic.
S+ for Spitterack. You wanna defend your point at all?
He's just a little spider with a little
spooter.
With just a little face on its butt.
I'm gonna look
like
up
it
how
is
tall it is. See if it's actually a little spitter.
Oh, please. If it's huge, I'm going to be terrified.
That sounds like a you problem. Oh wow, the shiny of this Pokemon looks sick. Oh, that's what I remember. The original Spinarak in Gold and Silver was fucking purple for some reason.
Isn't that a shiny?
Its shiny is like this like light lavender purple, but like the OG is like a dark purple. Like think like Ghastly.
Huh.
F-.
Yeah, it's just a little guy, but it's cute. It has a little smiley face, and it's one of the only spiders that doesn't make me like worm from my arachnophobia.
I didn't hear the SQ on Squirm, and I heard worm. And I was like, that's pretty funny. I'm not as big a fan of Spinarak. I think it's still a pretty good design. It kind of reminds me of Skulltellas, or whatever they're called from
Legend of Zelda.
Zelda, yeah. And it is they are pretty adorable. I want one as a pet. Azura does the worm upon sighting a spider, confirmed. Bars.
That's how I assert dominance.
So, Spinarak is 1 foot 8 inches. So not that big. And you know, when you're counting when you're counting spiders, like you kind of do it by leg length. So like, you know, Goliath bird eater tarantulas are like 1.5 foot as well. But like when you see them, they're not like gigantic.
Yeah.
So, I like that it has a fat little body, tiny little legs. Yeah, I don't really have any hard feeling or any real feelings about Spinnerack. I think it's cute, and I think it does the design decently well. Actually, it might go up top of B tier for me. I just can't think of it as being like as cool or as well designed as like Quilava. 1 foot. I thought spiders had 8 feet.
Who said that?
That was Mo. That was Cinemoti. Ariados.
Hate it.
Hate it.
It's not okay. Nope, it's soup. I can't look at it.
Oh, it's soup. It's a soupy mon.
I can't look at it.
It's Spinnerack riding the highest highs, and then Ariados is straight to soup. You're gonna have to look at it again. If you put it in soup now, you're gonna have to look at it again when we do the soup tier list.
I know, but yeah, I can't do Ariados.
What about it?
Would I?
Okay, consider this. Consider this. It is not a spider.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Oh no, it only
has
has
4 legs.
I don't know. It's just something about it. Ugh.
Technically, Spinnerack's also not a spider.
I think part of it is it has those like little back parts of it that like makes me think of being able to like move its legs and shoot the hairs out like certain tarantulas do.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. It's in the same boat as Galvantula. I can't look at it for too long.
Interesting. Okay. I think Ariados is probably like, I think he's definitely worse than Spinnerack. Definitely better than Latiba though. I like that. The quote unquote lore reasons for them having the faces is to like intimidate things. You know, it's also the Spinnerack was the reason that Scary Face exists as a move. And Ariados has that as well, and the little legs that it has are to make itself look bigger for predators as well. So, yeah, I think it's fine. It's a bug looking like a spider. But yeah, I don't think that neither of them are like revolutionary designs. I just think the Spinnerack's cute. I'm getting like a Joltik vibe from Spinnerack of like, it's just a cute design that's typically like scary done cute, and Ariados is just an edgy scary Pokemon. So speaking of edgy, Crobat.
Serious no. Are we sure we want me to be on this podcast or on this stream?
Unless you're gonna say that you want to fuck Crobat, I don't care what you're about to say.
S plus.
S plus for Crobat. Okay.
I love
okay.
Crobat.
Nuclear takes out here.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to lose Austin as a friend or mod.
If him and I stop being friends because he decides to that Crobat does not deserve S plus tier, then the friendship was doomed from the start. He's the one that's over here. He's the one over here telling me that Meganium deserves to be A tier.
Is he also S plus for you then?
No, absolutely not. Smash or pass Pokemon. I'm okay. I am far too asexual to be thinking about smashing any Pokemon. Except for Bellsprout. Yeah. Bellsprout's the shit. Zach was there. Zach was there when we talked about smashing Bellsprout. Oh, no. That was me, Zach, Austin, and Nico. Oh god, that's so great. I think Crobat's probably a C tier. I mean, like, it's hard to rank Crobat because we don't have Golbat in this list. Around all the other Pokemon, this might be something that we run into when we're talking about like pre-evolutions or evolutions that are made in further gens. But Golbat was a good design. I think I put it A. Golbat looks like they sell sports shoes out of the back of a van. I liked Golbat's design as being kind of a silly little dude. And then Crobat's just like, ching! Like, I think Scizor does its design better, and also, like, why does being friendly with Golbat equal Crobat? Yeah, it's dropping down to D for me.
If you can't take it at its worst, you don't deserve it as a Crobat.
That's the thing.
That being said, that's something you just mentioned. It's our first friendship evolution.
That's true. That's true. And we're about to come across a bunch of them. I'm also trying to think if there's any gender differences in any of these Pokemon, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe Centret has like one more stripe or something.
I feel like Machamp should have become a friendship evolution.
By the power of friendship, they grow a fucking torso. Yeah, Machamp should have been a friendship evolution. You have to get really close, and then you have to use the key item bed on Machamp or on Machoke.
You have to use the key item condom.
Chinchou.
Oh, on to the next one.
We're not dwelling on fucking Machamp. We did that. We thirsted after Machamp enough last stream.
Okay, Chinchou. I'd put him above or below Typhlosion in A. He's a cute little anglerfish. I mean, you can't really say it's not an anglerfish because what else has little hangy lights?
I was just looking at, like, if there is, like, a ton of forgettable designs in Gen 2. And I think we're just, like, the first half of the Pokédex of Gen 2 is pretty forgettable. But we're going to get in some fucking bangers later.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't really have strong feelings about Dunsparce's S+. I don't really have any strong feelings about Chinchou. I think it's well designed. I think it's a little cluddy, wow. Like clumsy of a design. Like, I think it has almost too much going on. With like its little flippers and feet, and then like the plus eyes, and then the two angler things. I think detracts a little bit for me.
I honestly like the plus eyes purely because it is an electric type.
Yeah, no, I understand why it's there. I understand why it's there. I just, like, I think that there's too much going on with it. I think if they, like, if it was just a little blue ball with the plus eyes and then the little bioluminescent little dinglings, maybe, but I think it just has a little bit too much going on. And then I hesitate to think, like, do I like its design more than Typhlosion? Absolutely not. I don't.
Okay. Fair enough.
You say that, but there's already 3 S+. How does it move? It's a fishy. it just like doggy paddles, but sideways. Lantern.
Above Croconaw C tier for the same reason. Why does it have to have a belly?
He's kind of pudgy. He's been eating good.
Why is it divorced dad? Not our divorced
mainly
dad.
on land. You can fish. You can fish Pokemon up, or you can like ride the waves. You can like.
My favorite generation gets knocked because too much water.
Gen 5 doesn't have too much water.
I said my favorite, not your favorite.
Gen 5 should be everybody's favorite. Yeah, I think Lantern is our first problem child of the tier list system here. Of it's just a fish. I think Chinchou has too much going on. I think Lantern needs a little bit more going on. It's not as egregious as something like Luminion, or like Love Disc or something. I mean, even Love Disc has a little bit of design to it, but yeah, I just like Lantern is a Pokemon that exists in real life.
Yeah. I do have to say, and this is completely off topic, but I changed my ringtone.
Yeah.
And my text message is now Legiana roaring.
Make a tier list, just an animal that exists IRL. I'm not tier zoo, unfortunately.
Platypus S plus.
But maybe we could do like, maybe I could get like Zach on and we can just talk about silly little dudes that we can own as pets and just rank them.
Okay. What's the next one?
I'm still ranking Lantern. I was just making sure that because my music stopped, so I was like, yeah, I think it goes C tier. It's above for it for similar reasons. They're not really doing anything different from their real life counterparts. All right, I'm gonna need you to take off your cute tinted glasses and think about this objectively. How do you feel about Pichu?
Regular Pichu above Ledian, B tier. Spiky-eared Pichu would be below Noctowl in A.
What are you guys talking about? Pichu is definitely an S tier. Even Zach's like, it's a D tier. Pichu is so adorable. It's so adorable.
There's that Pokemon Stadium minigame where you play as Pichu and you
Yeah.
have to charge up balls. And that's all I've got for
It
it.
is a part of the beginning the sin of Pikachu knockoffs. Okay. I can give it that. I can't. It is also not a perfect design because it is a Pikachu clone. It just so happens that the Pikachu clone is the pre-evolution. That being said, if Pikachu started as Pichu and we just got Pichu to begin with, it's great. I love its name. I love that it's a shortened form of Pikachu, but cuter as well. I love that it's a Smash Bros. Character. I love that it's like it. You look at it and you know that this guy's irresponsible with money. Like
You seem like you're talking yourself up to an S plus with it.
no, I can't. He is not. He's not better than Feraligatr.
But could he take Feraligatr in a fight?
Zach says, then no issue. If we started off with Pichu instead of Pikachu, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Give me my mallet. Yeah, but these
That's
are
the thing.
These are looking at these Pokemon in a vacuum in design, and like where you can compare Pichu to the rest of its evolution line, just like how I compared Crobat to the rest of its evolution line. But Pichu is the best of that line by far, and is definitely it's the best Pikachu design. I talked myself up into an S plus. F, so cute. I want a plushie. Pichu's adorable. In Pokemon Go, you can get them wearing hats, and they just like wear them on one ear.
What was I gonna say? I got distracted. Oh, it is the start of baby Pokemon, which is the worst thing in all of Pokemon.
True, but there are certain baby Pokemon that do it all right. Munchlax is a good example. Pichu is a good example. When you get to, like, Cleffa up next, yes, I want to punt it over the back fence.
No. The idea of baby Pokemon is just trash to me. The fact that they all evolve through friendship, and there's really no saving it, in my opinion.
I don't want to hear it from somebody that put Crobat S+ tier.
Look!
How are you going to put Pichu below Chinchou?
Because Chinchou's a fish.
Pichu can learn surf.
I like Peach. I like fish. And I like
anarchy.
It's just not. It's not S for me.
That's okay. That's okay. We can agree to disagree. This is probably the, like, even though it's only like a tier or two difference, I feel like we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. You can't forgive Pichu for being anywhere related to Pikachu. I am seeing past all that and just looking at how adorable he is.
It has nothing to do with the fact that he's related to Pikachu. It's, you said take off the cute glasses, A. Which is the main thing Pichu has going for it, is it's just a little guy. So taking away that, it's alright.
He looks like he would steal your wallet and go spend it on Bionicles.
He looks like I could squish him with my boot.
True. Speaking of that, can we both agree Cleffa and F tier?
Yes. What's the two?
Can we say the same thing about Igglybuff?
Yes. I was gonna think about it for a second, but there's no need to think. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are examples of baby Pokemon done wrong.
In my opinion, same with Tyrogue.
Okay, we're not even anywhere close to Tyrogue, but
Oh yeah, but just talking
noted for later.
What?
If Sour Sweet Gone was a Pokemon. Yeah, I just, like, Cleffa is probably worse in my opinion. As it is literally just a Clefairy, but little. Igglybuff at least doesn't look too much like Jigglypuff. And also, it has the whole thing about if Igglybuff starts bouncing, it can't stop bouncing. Like, you can't make it stop bouncing.
That was like a perfect thing to just pick up and throw.
Yeah, no, both of them I just want to take into the back. I want to get a plushie of both of these and give them to Vivian's dog. Like, that's all they are to me. Or they're just chew toys or
that
things
being said,
I
I
want
think Vivian would also just appreciate.
That sounds surprisingly grim. What?
They seem like ones that Vivian would like really think is super cute and would want as a plushie. And would probably be super upset that you gave a plushie to the dog to destroy.
No. Vivian's a fan of, like, her favorite Pokemon's Noibat.
Which is also adorable.
She's a girl of culture. Yeah, but, like, edgy cute.
Ah, so Zubat.
Togepi.
You know, I know we were talking Croconaw about, you know, it kind of looks like an egg, and for that it's kind of bad. I like Togepi because it is just an egg.
The reason that Croconaw is bad because of the egg design is because it's a second stage evolution. Why does it look like it's wearing an egg?
Yeah, I gotta drain some pasta real quick for Trin. Could you just kind of
entertain the chat? You're telling me I have to do my job. There should be an E for egg.
I'll put Togepi below Pichu and B.
Oh, there was about to be a whole argument about putting it above Pichu. Togepi I think is an alright design. For me, it's like it is a Pokemon that could only exist in Pokemon. You're not going to see this in a Pokemon knockoff or a Fakemon or anything like that. This is like, what is it outside of just being an egg? It's just a spiky haired dude. And even in the anime, like, the spikiness is actually like a flower kind of deal. Oh, I was thinking D or F. I think for being unique, it saves it from being bottom tier, but not by much. I think it does scream baby Pokemon. I think it's either low C, high D. You guys are kind of talking me into it. It looks annoying, yeah. Yeah, I think you guys have talked me into it. It is just a dude wearing an egg, and an annoying dude at that. Wow, this music is just way too much. Oh no, it's the complete collection of this. Okay, well we'll just leave it anyway. It's just like individual themes. I would give it a fork near an outlet. D for do it, doctor. I don't think it's F because I don't want to scramble it. But I think it's not quite puntable tier. I'm glad it exists in some way. I just don't think that it's like... Yeah, I think I was just giving it the benefit of the doubt of just being unique. But, over under 2 minutes to drain pasta. So I guess while Azura is draining pasta, maybe their prostate. I don't know. So Doctor Meat over. Yeah. So what I another command that I did is you can type TYPE FAV, type fave, and Streamlabs will tell you about this little thing. And this is a cool little thing where for you two who are currently in chat, Mo and Zach, I will do it for free for you guys. But if you go in there and you can do a little chart of your favorite Pokemon by type, and then send it in, and whoever I'm currently on stream with, today it's Azura, but if Zach and I are talking about our favorite crabs in video games or whatever, then we'll also dissect it, and we'll judge you based off of your stuff.
Pasta S+.
So we had a little bet going to see how long it would take, because, you know, I when I drain my pasta, it's like 10 seconds.
I had to clear out the sink.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or else, yeah, it would have been 10 seconds. I actually came back in time for you to talk about the type FAV.
Oh, okay. Command, yeah.
But I was like, oh, Caleb's talking. I don't want to interrupt him.
I need the over-under. It was definitely over. The over-under was 2 minutes, and it took 3.5. I'm not wearing a
Did it
watch.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, because I got into a heated argument with the chat about Togepi.
Oh.
Yeah. And by
I will
argument,
say Togepi is better than its evolutions
100%.
in terms of design.
100%. Speaking of, give me your Togetic take. Your Togetic take. Don't be sorry I won the bet.
Above Hoot
Togekiss is an abomination before the eyes of God. Above Hoot Hoot indeed. You really like it more than Hoot Hoot.
It's not soup,
It's soup for
but
me.
it's close. Really, it's going in F?
Here's the thing I hate about the Togepi line. Togepi is a unique design based around being this guy that sprouted legs and arms and a head out of an eggshell. And then for some reason, through the power of friendship, I have a Momo hair on the tip of my
Wait,
tongue.
is a friendship evolution?
It is. which is why I never obtained it in any of my playthroughs because I never used it enough. Are you moving it down?
It's soup, yeah.
Above the baby Pokemon? Above Ariados?
Above the baby Pokemon, below Ariados.
So, like, through the power of friendship, it grows into its shell, or its shell overtakes the rest of its body, and it becomes this stupid little whatever it is. How tall do you think Togetic is?
I want to say it's like 2'3".
Place your bets, chat. Over, under 2.5 feet. Alright, I have the number. Too tall, says Zach. You think it's too taller than 2.5 feet? Azura, what's your take? Do you think it's over or under 2'5"?
I said 2'3", so under.
Okay. Zach says I will not elaborate. Mo says I was gonna say 4'11". It is 2 feet exact.
Oh, okay, I was close.
Yeah. But based off of the fact that we've seen some Pokemon that are like Latian, that's goddamn a freaking skyscraper. It's a little misleading.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about Togetic. Or Togetic is the way I've heard it said. How do you feel about Natu? Momo, why is there still a cat hair in my mouth?
I want to throw it up in the air and hit it with a tennis racket into the trash. It's below Hoot Hoot and D.
Dang!
They both belong in the same place because they are both just round birds.
Thought the long neck would carry. Now I'm just so curious about if these Pokemon are like taller than I think they are. No. Natu is 8 inches tall. Quit licking your cat. Natu is 6'9". Ba-bam. I don't know. I think Natu is probably... I think he's better than Lantern and Furret. Not quite Meganium. I mean, it is just a round bird, but I think that... I think I like this kind of like Aztec, Mayan kind of look that it has going on with like the like lines on the wings and stuff like that. It is just a circle. Like if you had to draw this Pokemon, explain why not same rank as Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot's a lot less simple. I think Hoot Hoot, the reason Hoot Hoot scored so high for me is mostly it's carried by the fact that it stands on one leg and hops between the two. Natu is just a circle. Like this is like directly out of Draw Your Own Pokemon book, and it just starts with a circle with an eye, and then they're like add some other shit to it. And yeah,
as opposed to the circle with 2 eyes, and they said draw a foot.
Hoot Hoot has a lot more going on than Natu. Granted, Natu is still redeemable. That is, the B and C are redeemable. But it's Hoot Hoot just has a little bit more to differentiate it and make it look more Pokemon-like. Namely, a second eye. Plus eye minus foot. Quite the trade-off. How do you feel about Xatu? Momo, why can't you just, like, I don't know, hang out for a second?
You know, I liked it, because of
Chat, here we go. Here's the cat again.
I liked it because purely because of
Unbalanced birds.
game.
Go ahead, sorry.
But as you were saying about the some kind of native look it has, I do like that in it. I'd put it. I'd put it above.
I'm sorry, this has to happen.
I'd put it above Togepi, but below Pichu.
Above Togepi, under Pichu. I was able to get
Yes.
Momo right up against the webcam. Lifted him up. Oh, sorry, buddy.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I just found a level 49 boss Blasmet.
That's crazy. Oh, I guess I should check how that is. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. Chat, we do still have Palworld up in the background.
You just wouldn't be able to tell from Caleb.
Yeah. This is up just so that Azura can do whatever.
Can do the tick-tock.
Okay, so I lift Momo up, and Mo says, "Hi, you're cute." Not you, Caleb. Well, I guess. And then Mo says, "Boo," and then Austin comes in and says, "I'd smash Caleb with a 2x4." So yeah, I guess you have that. Let me make sure we're chilling here. Yeah, we got tons of berries. Okay. Let's go back to turn that off, and there we go. Okay, Mareep. This is the one that you'll actually, Austin will come find you if you hate Ampharos and Girafarig for that matter. I forget Girafarig is this gen.
I forgot Girafarig was a Pokemon.
Caleb, you need to play Xatu. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got so caught up talking about my cat and everything. I think Xatu is probably A tier. I think the cool things about Natu are expanded upon, and I like that it looks like a totem pole. Momo is S+++++. He's not an S plus type of animal. He just looks cute, but his upkeep is goddamn.
You were
so
talking
much.
about how your S+ is all about personality.
No.
Has
My A tier in Kanto was about Pokemon that oozed personality. To break into an S, I have to be able to visualize how the Pokemon would act if I saw it in real life. And that comes with personality and is built upon that, while also incorporating that personality into its design, not just its design conveying a personality. And an S plus is just like done to perfection. Xatu has personality, and that personality is being a totem. What?
All I'm hearing is Mona's an S+.
Momo does not ooze personality. There's a reason I use him for almost any of my Instagram posts, and that is because he is just photogenic, and that's all he has going for him. He is the Pikachu of my life. You can visualize what Momo would look like IRL. God damn it, he's right.
Anyways, Xatu.
Yeah, Xatu to me is a Pokemon that just is creative in the fact that it is a flying type Pokemon. I will say it is let down by its 3D counterpart by it flying. I think if it just stood in one place, it would be fine. But the fact that it has to be flying in later generations kind of ruins it a little bit. But it is this stoic, like, and I can say this probably because I played the Mystery Dungeon games, but Xatu is a Pokemon that you know exactly what it does just by looking at it. If you told
Yeah, it stares into the sun.
if someone told Mo, who's never played a Pokemon game in his life, that Xatu just sits all day and stares at the sun, I don't think he would find it that surprising.
Now cue the what from Mo.
What is this all about? Okay, we're going back. This is just way too extreme.
What is?
I have the Master Duel OST on. Master Duel is the Yu-Gi-Oh simulator, and it has really good music, and it's good music. It's just like, wow, that was really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
What is this music? Exactly. It was just like, whoa. Whereas this is like just the menu music, and it's a little bit easier to just digest. Okay, how do you feel about Mareep? We are an hour and a half in, and we are not even halfway through.
We're better this time though.
True.
Mareep.
I blame Momo. He's gonna learn to love when I stream because he can just sit on my lap for hours.
Mareep's just a sheep.
Whoa.
But it's cute.
Choosing
And it has
words
like
carefully.
it has the little like yellow and black that like for some reason I instead of being like, oh, it's a bee, I sit there, I'm like, oh, it's an electric type.
You know why? Because Pikachu and Pichu have conditioned you.
It's below for alligator and S.
Okay. You started off that with scaring me a little bit. I think Mareep probably belongs next to Quilava in A tier. I mean, it is just a sheep. I think the thing that accelerates it is the tail. But I don't think that it does as much as Pichu does as far as like I can visualize what it is. It is a Pokemon to me, not a creature. Yeah, I mean, it's adorable. Sheeps are my favorite animal, so.
I think Austin and Mo might fight.
C for cheap. Austin's not a huge fan of Mareep. It's Ampharos because it's a giraffe.
Unbalance your birds, you cowards. Sorry. Flaffy.
I will say, we're not weighing it, but Mareep does have a really cool shiny.
It does. Flaffy is... I'm almost tempted to put it in D tier.
I'd fight Austin.
I think Flaffy goes under Croconaut in C.
Coward. Granted, my Croconaut is D tier, but I put it next to Croconaut as well. Yeah, I mean, what is there to really say about Flaffy? It's just like I guess like there's no way to go between Mareep and Ampharos in a smooth way because they are two drastically different Pokemon. But like Flaffy is just not it.
Let's go ahead and quickly mention, it looks like they just stood Mareep up and then waxed it, and that's why it's pink.
Maybe. I was thinking a much more violent approach is taking Miltank and sawing off its udders.
Oh god. Ampharos.
We're not weighing the Mega Evolution.
I know. It's kind of dumb looking, but in a good way. It's like Silly Cobra and stuff like that.
Guy loves Silly Cobra.
But I know it's not going to be as high as Austin would put it, obviously. I'm gonna put Ampharos above Bayleaf in B.
Below Bayleaf and B. Wow, that is a lot of Bs.
I said above.
Oh, above. Ampharos is top of A. It's easing itself into S for me, for the same reason that Rhydon did, and that is they are very Pokemon-looking Pokemon. You're not gonna get like a Pokemon knockoff or anything that makes an Ampharos-looking Pokemon.
You know what? Okay, nope. You won me over. Put it above Chinchou in A.
Yeah, how the fuck was Ampharos below Noctowl and Furret?
Because I like the Pokemon that are just an animal.
Hey, that's okay. How is Pichu below them though? Yeah, I the only thing that's keeping it from S tier is like I can't imagine Ampharos existing outside of Pokemon, even though it has a very unique design and very Pokemon design. I can't imagine it like I wouldn't be excited to see Ampharos in like a Pokemon movie. Whereas like for Alligator and Pichu, I definitely would be. I'd be like, oh shit. But Pokemon that that are maybe a little more forgettable and I would never care if I ever saw ever again. How do you feel about Blossom? I know you're gonna think that's blasphemous because it's like a hula hoop or a hula Pokemon, but
Actually, I was just gonna ask, how do you even get it? Is it a Sunstone?
yeah, Sunstone. On Weepinbell of all things. No, not Weepinbell. Gloom.
Gloom. I'd put it below Chikorita in C.
I'm just gonna place this bomb here and just gonna just wait for a little bit. You said above Chikorita and C? Or below?
Below Chikorita in C.
You weren't supposed to look.
I'm on your stream.
You want to talk about Blossom, or are you just gonna remark about this bomb I placed?
We will get to that when I get to it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like it's this but flowers, like Bayleaf into Meganium. Oh, it's Bayleaf but flower. You know. Oh, it's Blossom is mostly flower, and I just not a big fan.
I just think it's forgettable, honestly. I don't think I don't understand how it came from the Oddish line whatsoever. I think it's a cool enough design on its own, but when you're placing it in the context of Gen 2, but also just the Oddish line in general, I think it's probably top of D tier for me. I think it's a redeemable enough design, but I think they should have just made a different evolution line for it, rather than give it a branching evolution, which we'll get into with some polyamorous toads. Meryl, Peekaboo.
Peekaboo?
You haven't heard about that? Meryl was
No.
Meryl was announced as being like part of the Pikachu line, or like adjacent to the Pikachu line as Peekaboo.
Oh. Well, as you can see with a common trend, it's just a ball.
Does it go
it
with
goes in
just
D
a
tier.
ball?
I really have nothing to say about Meryl. It's
Can I just quickly
not for
put
me.
Quillfish in D2?
No, I actually kind of like Quillfish.
Literal blue balls. I think Meryl does give off good mascot energy. Typhlosion probably needs to be moved up. Maybe. It's starting to feel a little weird that it's in C tier, but everything above it I do like more than it. It's just like, does Typhlosion deserve to be in C tier? Anyway, Meryl. Meryl is, I think it gives good mascot energy. I think that it is just a blue mouse. But I like the fact that it has the buoyancy in its tail. The one thing I don't really understand is where the fairy type came from with this. I think that it's cool for it competitively, but when you're looking at what Meryl is, how the fuck are you getting fairy type from this? But that's neither here nor there. I think it's a cool enough design. What about Azumarill?
Same.
It's not a ball.
I know. It's more egg shaped, but
You put Togepi in B tier.
well, yes, but Togepi is not egg shaped.
Literal egg Pokemon.
I this is what I was saying. There's some of these I just have no opinion about, and that's Meryl and Azumarill.
You didn't need to say it like I did.
You said it, my brain was like, you have to say it like that. Yeah, it's just D tier for me. Egg with ear.
All right, well, I guess the better question to ask is over under 2.5 feet for Azumarill.
Oh, Azumarill is definitely like over 2 feet.
Okay.
I'd say like 3.5.
3.5. Chat, cast your vote. Is Azumarill over or under 2 foot 6 inches? Azumarill for me is probably low B tier. I think that Azumarill, like, I think Meryl screams like I want to be the protagonist and I want to be the mascot. I think Azumarill kind of abandons that and is just trying to be its own thing. Actually, you know what? I just imagine looking at Azumarill without the ears, and that just brought it way lower. It's like almost in that uncanny, like, Chansey is an axolotl.
Right, can I quickly bring up the fact they're just Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff?
I don't think so. I think that there's a little bit more to them. I think the little buoyancy ball and the tail gives them a little bit more distinguishing stuff. I think this photo of Meryl is actually doing it a little bit of injustice because it makes it just look like a little mouse.
Like, take away the ball and color it pink, and you pretty much have Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. And I think the ears in Azumarill really solidified that for me.
See, if you take away the ears for Azumarill for me, I'm seeing blue Chansey. And it's really uncanny, and I don't like it. It might actually go D tier for me. That's almost. Wait, hold on. Look at this regal ruler of the jungle over here.
Look at him.
I haven't seen him go up there yet. He's meowing at me. He's barking. What are you doing over here? Alright, that's all the attention he gets. No more. Chat, don't even look at him. Yeah, I just... After thinking about Azumarill without ears, it's very unsettling. I don't like it anymore. Alright, but back to our bet. Everybody said way over or over. Azumarill is 2 foot 7 inches. So just barely over. Now, is Azumarill a happiness evolution? Or is it Waterstone?
I'm not sure. I think it's happiness.
I have the Cerebi article pulled up. It's a level 18. That's interesting. For some reason, I've always... That's a Mandela effect. Zach says, fucking how? Oh, man. The more I look at Azumarill, the lower it goes.
It might become soup.
I just... Thinking about it without ears is really unsettling. Okay, it's better than Sentret. Even without ears. Let's talk about Shake Your Butt Tree.
I fucking love Sudowoodo. Like, it's below Mareep in S.
Below Mareep. I haven't heard a reaction like that in a while. I mean, it's just barely S.
Well, because I love it, and I even love the 3D sprite in Sun and Moon when you see it walking for the trial.
Yeah, or like when you come across it in Scarlet and Violet, it fucking tears off.
Yeah, but then I look over to the rest of the Pokemon in S, and I'm like, but do I like it better than the others? And I'm like, no, it's just...
To quote last stream, do you think Sudowoodo could fight Mareep?
Oh, yeah, no, I think Sudowoodo could fight Mareep, but it's not... Mareep is not the Machamp of this one. That's for Alligator. Yeah.
I'd be able to
Oh,
fight
we both
really
put
good.
Sudowoodo in S.
Yeah, okay, so my thing with Sudowoodo is it's petrified wood. It's faking being a tree, hence pseudo wood. And I just think that it does the design incredibly well. I think that it's incredibly well designed for being a fake tree and being a like roadblock. Pseudo woo-wooed. Pseudo woo. Yeah, that's all I got about it. I think it's a really good design. And I just like how much thought and care is put into Sudowoodo. Uwuwudo. God damn it. Polyamorous toads.
Okay, so we had this
We
conversation.
got some circles coming up.
We had a conversation during the Kanto one about the Poliwag line.
Yes.
And in there, I said I like Politoed more than all the Poliwag line.
True. I remember this.
It's going above Blossom and C.
Wow. Okay. You've either changed your tune. Is it better? Is it worse than Lady N for you?
No. Yes, it is worse than Ledian. Sorry.
Okay. Interesting. You had all the Poliwags. Yeah, you had all the Poliwags in like D or F tier.
Yeah.
They were super adjacent. You think you put
I need
Chikorita too low?
Chikorita above Xatu.
Above Xatu. Not quite Pichu level.
Not quite Pichu level.
So suddenly Chikorita is not quite so Bulbasaur-like, huh? Politoed's probably... It's gonna go just above Lantern for me. I mean, it's just like... It's a frog. It's got the little swirl on its belly and in its hair, but... I just get this vicious urge to want to beat it up when I see it. And I can't shake that feeling of like, I don't even want to fight. I don't even want to like fight it with my Pokemon. I just want to fist fight it.
Is it maybe because it looks a little crazy?
A little crazy?
A little crazy frog?
No, I love Crazy Frog. Don't even. Don't invoke the ancient powers within me, witch. No, I just think that Politoed might have the most punchable face in the tier list so far.
Well, I mean, until the next one.
Can I just put all three of these in D tier for you?
No.
Oh, we're
Hoppip
changing
and
it up.
Skiploom are soup.
Hoppip and Skiploom are soup.
Jumpluff.
God, you got a rank ass soup going on here.
Jumpluff is a below Letty and B.
All right, now if you had never played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue or Red Rescue Team, does Jumpluff stay there?
Yes.
Because I'm hearing Hoot, Natu, and Marill are all D tier because they're round. Jumpluff is 4 round circles.
Yes. The only thing that brings it up from Blue Rescue Team is the way it moves, because it moves side to side. Other than that, like, there's really no bearing. I just kind of like Jumpluff. You are not putting Hoppip in C tier.
100%. I like it. I think he's just a fucked up little dude.
I'm pretty sure I named.
Go ahead. Oh no.
Nope,
Go ahead. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I named my shiny Hoppip something like, "What the fuck."
So here's the thing. Hoppip to me is the quiet kid in class that you need to worry about. I think he's planning murder behind those eyes. I love that it has the little helicopter leaves. Yeah, I just like I can't hate Hoppip. It's also a very Pokemon looking Pokemon. I think it's awful competitively. I never want to use one on my team, but I don't hate when I see them. I never am like, I can't fucking believe that Hoppip is here. I hate that I had to use one in a playthrough, but I can't hate Hoppip.
Okay.
Skiploom, yeah, Skiploom's so forgettable. It feels like a waste. Like
Skiploom, more like Soup Bloom.
Yeah, it's just so fucking dumb. Like, it's fat. By all known laws of aviation, it shouldn't be able to fly.
It's literal grass. It's a plant.
And then Jumpluff, I just... it's 4 circles. I love... Literally the only thing redeeming about it and what keeps it out of soup tier for me is the fact that that in the first 3D Pokemon games, Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, when it uses moves, it does a little pom-pom dance.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
4 times around.
Yeah. I don't like Jumpluff.
Okay. I mean, fair enough.
Apom.
Apom? Above Politoed and C.
Before we get into this discussion,
Okay.
you say below or above?
Above Politoed.
If Apom jerks you off with its tail hand, is it considered a hand job?
Why would you let it get near it in the first place? It's not Bellsprout.
I'm not saying that I'm trying to do this. I am asking soup for sexual deviant. I am simply asking for the culture.
I think technically yes. Because it is a hand. Are you there?
Yeah, you sound like you were going to keep going.
Nope. I don't even really have anything to say about Apom for me.
Yeah, it's D tier for me. I think it's there. It exists. It's way too rare for how bad it is. Yeah, that's all I got for you. All right, nuclear takes time. Give me your Sunkern.
Hold on.
F for flower and ripping off Plants vs. Zombies. 10 years before Plants vs. Zombies came out.
At least. Sunkern. Put it right with Pichu in B tier. Above Chikorita, below Pichu.
Okay.
Also, I can't see Sunkern.
What? Also, I can't see Sunkern. That's because Sunkern somehow jumped up on the list preemptively. You lie. Sunflora. How do you feel about Sunflora?
We're just not going to talk about why it's S+ tier for you. Sunflora is a sunflower. I do like sunflowers. It's above Ladybug in C.
It's above Ladybug in C. So Sunkern and Sunflora are S+ Pokemon.
Really?
And I think you guys need to take the hatred out of your hearts and open your hearts up to Sunkern and Sunflora.
What does it for you?
Sunkern does everything I like about Hoppip, but dialed up to like 300. It is adorable, but so fucking pathetic.
I remember in Gales of Darkness, one of the first battles you have is against the scientist dude with a Sunkern. And your Eevee just bodies it.
Yeah. Has the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon.
Oh, it's so sad.
It is puny. It is disgusting. It probably if it could speak, it has a mouth, but if it could speak, it would probably be saying "kill me."
And either that or like, "You're gonna hurt the birthday boy."
And for that, it exudes all of that and more, and thus I love Sunkern. I love the design of Sunkern so much. I just like. It's one of those leaves that like falls off the tree and then like plants to grow into whatever. I can't hate Sunkern. Call it its design working on me because I feel so bad for it. But even if I'm being affected by that, I think that's just grade A design. Zach says Sunflora looks like the mascot of every roadside nursery that chops up tourists to fertilize the bed. Sunflora, I have flexibility on. Sunflora, I am not 100% sold on S+ yet. I think I need to convince myself that it deserves to be up here. But he is just such a fucking happy dude. And in a world of so much negativity, I just want a fucking sunflower to smile at me and do the Bellsprout wave.
Right.
And I can't hate Sunflora. Is it S+? It's probably not.
I mean,
but it's at least S. I will put it in S. It's below Pichu, above Sudowoodo. But I have a feeling Sunflora is going to grow on me. Pun intended.
I mean, I feel like there's a couple things that are obviously going to happen in the next couple mons.
Oh, Yeah, there's a future S plus for you coming up. But before we get to that, Yanma.
Yanma is above Cyndaquil and S.
Above Cyndaquil and S. Okay, that's a nuclear take.
I get for people who are like,
for instance, one of them is an STD in Paldea.
I get that it's just a dragonfly. Dragonflies are some of the coolest insects in my opinion.
I gotta send a text while you justify yourself.
I don't need to I don't need to justify myself. If you can put Sunkern in S plus, like Yanma, I just really like. Now that being said, I kind of wish that Yanma evolved into Flygon, because they both have the dragonfly look to them. But even without it, it's just a really good design for me.
Okay.
Now, if you need me to defend something, we can move on to Wooper.
No. Yanma's just a dragonfly. And he's not even like a particularly cool design of a dragonfly. His feet have little fingers on them. That's a little unsettling. Also, aren't Yanmas gigantic?
Yanma's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're pretty big. Let's see here.
I agree with Zach.
Yanma is almost 4 feet long.
So I would have it as a pet. I'd put a harness on it and walk it.
I feel like it would be walking you. Okay. Wooper, venereal disease or not, S plus, no notes. All right.
Wooper is S plus.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, I thought you were saying Umbreon.
Oh, fuck.
Was the one that you were like, oh yeah, one's coming up.
No. Umbreon is. Oh yeah, Umbreon is coming up. But yeah. Do you want to talk about Wooper, or do you want me to?
I mean, we both have him in S plus. He's so dumb looking, and he has no brain cells, but it is the perfect way. And he looks nice better. It looks better than Chansey for being an axolotl.
That's because it's supposed to be an axolotl.
I know.
Oh, Chansey haunts me in my nightmares.
Do you have anything else to add for Wooper?
No. I think Wooper does everything it needs to. The only thing I think I can maybe say is it's a little disappointing that doesn't show the ground type very well on it. I mean, like, it's definitely a water type, but like, there's nothing on it in its design that screams like ground type.
Other than the fact that it looks like he eats dirt.
And he thinks it's probably delicious.
Yeah.
He just looks like he just looks like he's probably the psychiatric patient that's like banging his head against the wall for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No notes. Quagsire.
Above Xatu in B.
Above Xatu in B. Below Chikorita. Zach says, Wooper is an axolotl. Quagsire is a salamander. Respect the amphibians in our local estuaries and waterways.
It's good. It has no brain cells, and I love it for it. Its 3D model haunts me.
Because it opens its mouth so wide.
Well, it doesn't always have its mouth open. And when it doesn't have its mouth open, it's terrifying.
I can see that, yeah.
Still no brain cells, but not nearly as cute as Wooper.
Alright, the over-under for Quagsire is 5 feet.
I gotta say I was gonna say, I want to say he's like 4'6".
Chat, cast your vote. Is Quagsire over or under 5 foot tall?
Zach says under. I don't even know who else is watching at this point.
That's okay. I think Quagsire to me is probably a B tier. No. He's an A tier. I just want to hug him. I think he's probably Sunflora levels of friendliness. Like, if I could live in a perfect world, I walk out of my house that I'll never be able to afford because I was born after 1960. And I would look over, and Sunflora is clipping its grass, its hedge, and it waves at me. I look over, and Quagsire is, I don't know, doing what Quagsire does, staring at the sun.
Also waving at you, just
yeah,
not
they're the
realizing
two
he's
friendliest.
waving at you.
They're the two friendliest dudes, and that is my perfect
eyes
world.
in different directions.
Yep. But like, you don't feel bad for being so dumb. Sitting in a kiddie pool. Yeah. I got nothing about Quagsire. I think he's just a friendly dude.
Yeah.
Espeon.
Above Bellossom and C tier. Which is really sad because it is the closest thing to like a hairless cat that we have.
Umbreon is right
And
there. Espeon and Umbreon, trans icons.
Espeon just does not do it for me. Umbreon is above Ampharos and A.
Okay.
I think it's a really cool dark looking Pokemon.
Well, that would make sense because it's a dark Pokemon.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's a really cool one in my opinion. And then you also add into it the rings on it. Reminds me of the ringed octopi. Which I believe are poisonous, so it would be kind of cool to see it be a dark poison type. But even without it, I like it. Let me rethink Espeon while you explain your positionings for the two, because I think mine's heavily influenced.
God, how is Hoppip so low?
On mine?
No, for me.
Oh, I was like soup.
I was like, Chinchou, and then I looked at Hoppip and I was like, Hoppip doesn't deserve to be next to Chinchou. Okay,
yeah,
so
Espeon is too damaged from its shiny for me, so I need to actually like think of it as just as a design.
Yeah, I think like if you were going to do a psychic evolution, I think Espeon is a prime example of that. I don't think that you can get much better as far as an Eevee that is psychic type. I think you look at that Pokemon and you know it is a psychic type. That being said, I do think he's just a little too uncanny to go in A tier for me. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's like the lack of detail in like the actual body of it. But I'm having a hard time, like, it looks a little too anthropomorphic for my taste, and that's for a dog-looking Pokemon. But like, the design kind of screams that a furry made it. Which, I mean, if you're a furry, you're a furry. But like, I don't know. Umbreon to me has always been an overrated design. I think that maybe it's because I hate my cat so much, but it just reminds me of my cat a little too much. And like, I think if the shiny form of it was the base form, it would be higher. But the yellow does nothing for me, where the blue does a lot for me. And thus, I think it's mid. I think Umbreon's mid. I need to ask where did Vaporeon land. S plus where it belongs.
I actually can't remember where I put Vaporeon. I know you put it kind of. You put all the evolutions kind of high.
No, Flareon was if not soup, was near soup. Yeah. Eevee and Jolteon were both S tier. And then I think Vaporeon was either low A, high B.
No, when we did it, Caleb even said we're not going to talk copy pasta.
But if we did, I mean, acid armor. Have you rethought? Vivian comes into chat just to say you. Have you rethought your how wrong you are about Umbreon Espeon?
I think I'm gonna put Espeon above Xatu and B. Like thinking psychic types. I was like, I'm gonna fuck amuck. Yeah, I still like Umbreon better. I think Umbreon is my second favorite evolution. Can you guess what my first one is?
Is it the literal trans flag?
No, it's not Sylveon.
Really? I thought it was.
Nope, it's Glaceon.
That's okay, you can have bad taste. How do you feel about Murkrow?
D tier.
D tier?
Actually, no. It's next to Sunflora, below Sunflora, and C tier. I don't like Murkrow or Honchkrow.
What is it with you loving like the random birds, like Pidgey, and then we get these cool designs for birds, and you're like, they're mid. It's an A tier.
Okay, so probably for me, it's because Murkrow has the, like, witch hat, in my opinion.
Yeah!
But Honchkrow takes that away. And then there's also Mischievous coming up. And Mismagius, I just think does the witch hat better.
I don't think it's supposed to be a witch hat for Murkrow. I think it's supposed to just be like mobster hat, because Honchkrow does have the mobster design still.
Let's put Murkrow above Togepi and B.
I was gonna say there ain't no way you have Croconaw above Murkrow. That's kind of a witch hat, totally a witch hat. All right, chat's against me. That's okay. I think maybe in this sprite, it's probably a little witchy, but I feel like its 3D model is probably a little more. I love democracy. I think its 3D model's maybe more bowler hat, but I do like that it has a hat. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I was literally about to prove you guys right, and I'm just going to come out right in front of it and apologize. It is a witch hat because it also has a broomstick as a tail.
Yeah.
Which, okay. It's just proving my point. It's a good design.
Yup.
Vivian's an expert at saying I told you so.
Slowking. Slowking is bottom of D tier.
Bottom of D tier, not quite soup.
I told you in Kanto, I don't like the Slowpoke line. Slowpoke won some points because it's dumb looking, but Slowbro and Slowking just not real fun for me.
I mean, maybe I just have Furret way too high, but I just can't place it under Furret. God, I just want to punch Politoed in the face.
You have Furret way too high.
No, that's what I'm saying. Stronger because parasites get tested. Slowking, I will say, I do think that as stupid as much as I do, the reason I love Slowbro and Slowking is the shoulder evolution thingy. It is also pretty stupid. I will give it that. But I just can't get over the fact that a Shelder bites a tail, and it's definitely not a Shelder that bit its tail. Or its head.
Right.
And I love that it transforms into this just sophisticated gentleman. You know, he's a Redditor. You know he's a Redditor.
I don't think he's supposed to look like a Shelder bit his head, because you get it from a trade with a Rocky helmet.
With King's Rock, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
the reason he got smart is because the Shelder poison seeped into his brain.
Oh.
Yeah. Slowbro and Slowking
then.
are just, the only difference is where they got bit. Misdrevious.
Okay. Misdrevious is S+.
S+. Wow.
It is my second favorite ghost type. First one being Litwick.
It's lit.
Yeah, I love it. S for Goth. Yeah, I love it.
I think it's going next to Slowking for me. I think it's just a ghost.
Oh, man.
At
Best ghost is Phantom? No.
At least, Phantom's pretty fucking adorable, though.
Phantom is like third. It goes Litwick, Misdrevious, Phantom.
Zex says, fight me. Misdrevious, for me, like, it just screams like stereotypical ghost. Like, the ghost that is, like, prowling the halls of your mansion.
Really?
Yeah, it just, like, if Misdrevious was, if they made a Pokemon MMO, Misdrevious is just a trash mob that you're going through a haunted mansion. Yes, exactly, but chibi. And
I guess it's like, for me, like, I would say more like Banette, Duskull line. Like, those are more like ghost for me.
okay, but you're not gonna convince me that Duskull is anything but S+.
No. Duskull, when we get to Duskull.
Unknown.
I think you mean the next tier list, ranking all the unknowns.
That actually could be fun.
Unknown wins some points because A, there are 26?
28.
28.
Best one is V.
Yeah, for vagina.
Whoa! Family friendly stream, by the way.
I came in cussing.
Family friendly stream, by the way. By the way, what happens if a Shelder bites you on the ding-a-ling?
Oh. It wins some points in the Entei movie. But even then, and because it, has the different forms, but even then, it's just an eye with some little pieces on it.
That's very true. That
It's
is, you're describing
bottom of C tier.
bottom of C tier. So unknown is F. It is the F. It is the F unknown, going in F tier and F to pay respects because yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It's a Pokemon that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah.
Like, it is pack filler. It is Pokédex padding. Yeah. I got nothing for it. It's just bad. Talk about Wobbuffet.
P for punchable.
Vivian pops into stream. Why the fuck is Sunkern at the top? listen.
Because he feels bad for him. Wobbuffet is below Sentret in D.
Below Sentret in D.
The only thing going for it, in my opinion, is Team Rocket. That's it. I want to just punch it in the face.
All right. Here's my TLDR about Sunkern. Sunkern is a sad piece of shit. Has the lowest stats of any Pokemon ever, out of all 1,000 of them. He doesn't learn any good moves. He sucks in every way, shape, and form. And yet, he just, like... No, I know. You said you weren't basing this on stats. You said this was on what it looks like. Yes. But it tells the story of how sad and pathetic it is by being so sad and pathetic in its design. It makes me feel sorry for it, and thus it speaks to me like most other Pokemon cannot, in the fact that it is so sad to be so pathetic. And it probably also wants to die. And then it evolves into Sunflora, and it's just happy. Happy.
So, Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet. I don't really have very much about Wobbuffet, other than the fact that it's probably B tier.
Okay. Wobbuffet is one of those ones, it can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's a memorable design. It's simple. But the thing that really sets it apart is the fact that Wobbuffet is actually the tail and not the blue punching bag.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Its whole gimmick is, it's counter and mirror coat, and you punch it and it punches you back.
Okay.
And its tail is the Pokemon. Don't ask me how Why Not works, because I don't understand how Why Not works either. But at least Wobbuffet.
Baby Pokemon are the worst.
I have a Sunkern and a Pichu for you that says otherwise.
Sunkern's a baby Pokemon.
It might as well be. It is baby. Giraffrid.
Is Austin watching?
Probably not.
Soup. No. I don't like Giraffrig, but I don't hate it. It's redeemable. I'd put it above.
He's playing Destiny.
Togepi.
Exactly.
I'd put it above Togepi, below Murkrow. That's
I'll
like
be the one.
middle. Are you putting him in F?
No. I think it has enough going on. God, okay. Furret's going down. Furret's going down to D.
No.
It's not better than Azumarill. Yeah, I think low to mid C tier. It has a chain chomp for a tail, and that's about all it's got going on for it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like there's not a lot going on. Question. Or I guess there is stuff going on, but it's not anything that I'm vibing with. I think it's just there. It exists. If it wasn't for Scarlet and Violet, it would be a Pokemon that's super forgettable. Is the lowest of one tier higher than the highest of the next lowest tier? Yes. So, for example, Jump Pluff for Azura is better than Apom. And realistically, fun fact, there doesn't need to be tiers. The real tiers really just come into like S+, S, and F tier. Then what just happened with Furret? Furret got downgraded because it was sitting here next to Lantern, and I said there's absolutely no way that Furret deserves to be this high, so I moved him down. The Heaven Drafrig's tail has its own brain, but it is incapable of independent thinking. Shit, Giraffarigs. I did not know that. You know what else is a fun fact? Giraffarig is part normal type, and that makes no fucking sense.
It's definitely not normal.
It should be giraffe type. Pineco.
Pineco. Pinecone, if you will. I'd put it below Unknown.
Put it below Unknown. You're telling me that you like Unknown more than Pineco.
Unknown at least has a gimmick with all the different letters. Pineco is just
Wait
a
till
pinecone.
you find out what Pineco does. Zach is 100% right. It is B for boom.
Is that where you're putting it?
Yeah, right next to Cyndaquil.
Damn.
He's a boomy boy. Yes, he is a Pineco, but he's also like a booming Pineco.
You know what? Nope. Okay. B for boom.
Yes!
Put him above Togepi. Put him above Giraffrig.
How you gonna let Pineco over not be higher than Ledian? I am a trendsetter. I mean, it's just like he's a dumb guy who explodes, and I think that's cool. And for some reason, I'm having like memories of like a Pokemon Stadium 2 minigame that involves exploding Pinecos.
It's the Chansey one where you have to catch the eggs.
Yes. Yes.
Pineco will fall, and if you catch it, yeah, it like stuns you and makes you lose some eggs.
Yes. Great game.
Anyway,
Fortress.
great game. Fortress is above Slow King, and D. I do not like Fortress.
I'm feeling similar, but I think it's...
That's fine. The next one's going to be controversial.
Yeah, I think Fortress, like... I get what they were going for with Fortress, but I just don't think that it fixes and it has a good spot in Pokemon.
Wait a second. Shuckle is Gen 2?
Yeah.
Thought it was Gen 3.
Yeah, I just think that Fortress. Plus, I just feel like every time I see it, like Fortress as a Pokemon from a competitive mindset, I do like. But then I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to look at that all the time. I hate that its bumpy shell. I hate that its back sprite is just like a lumpy rock.
Right?
Yeah.
Thorn for the win.
Yeah. Dunsparce.
F tier. Soup. I hate Dunsparce. That's why I said this one's gonna
we got some disagreements going on here.
I'm sorry.
Talk about it. No, justify your answer. Show your work.
I can't. I just hate him. I hate that it's a 1% encounter in one tiny cave, which doesn't have anything to do with his appearance. I hate the fact that they gave him an evolution, yet Shuckle still doesn't have an evolution. I hate that its evolution has 2 different forms. I think it just deserves to be thrown in a pit and buried alive. So why is it S for you?
I love that it's based off of a Japanese myth. I think it is a very, very, very unique design. I love. I mean, I could gush about Dunsparce for a while. I love its color scheme. I love the little wings that it has. Yeah, I don't like the Dunsparce, even though it is lore accurate, you know. But I think Dunsparce is really cool. I wish that its evolution was cooler, but like we didn't have a Dunsparce evolution for how long, and then like I just pretend the Dunsparce doesn't exist.
The only good thing about the Dunsparce is the fact that Larry uses it.
Exactly. That's probably the. There we go. Had to go back to the fucking. It's like, hey, but hear me out. I think we've said that too much on this stream. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Dunsparce is S+. It doesn't speak to me the same way that, like, Totodile or Sunkern does. But, yeah, I think it's a really cool design. I think that there's not much like it going on. They make us wait, like, 20 years for anything, and then they give us fucking Dunsparce. The audacity. You're right. At the end of the day, it is just a bigger Dunsparce. Gligar. Gligar.
You know, we're most likely gonna have differing opinions because if I remember correctly, you really like Gligar. But we're not gonna have as bad as I thought we would. After seeing the picture that it has for this, I actually don't mind it. I think it's redeemable, and I actually kind of like it. So I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. But I think it's bottom A tier.
I loved it, Dunsparce. Not for it, but for the dick flapping in the wind and giving us the double bird it represents. Yeah, I think Gligar is a pretty unique design. All things considered. I think he's probably above Murkrow for me. Mid A tier. I think he's stupid. I think there's not a thought behind his brain. The Dunsparce, in a word, is spite, contempt. I think we know Zach's favorite Pokemon.
I mean, I have the same issue with the Dunsparce as I do with Farigiraf. Which is, I think it's just the worst thing that's ever existed.
No, my favorite is Dratini. Oh, you know what? I knew that. I did know that.
Oh, man.
Dratini was.
And you run a podcast with this guy?
To be fair, we do have terrible taste on the podcast as well.
I mean, your favorite SCP is the flesh that hates.
Which I guess
I say like I know anything about that. Okay. Steelix.
Oh, yeah. I guess we're just done talking about Gligar.
Oh, right. We were on Gligar.
We have
what did
worst
you have
taste
to say?
on the podcast, actually. Yeah, I think that Gligar is a really unique design. I can't think of anything that it really is based upon. I think its typing is unique. And I think that he's just a little shit. Like, he's a fucked up little dude. And you know, Zach and I do have a saying on the podcast: we do love a fucked up little dude.
I do like his design. I don't even know what he's supposed to look like.
Exactly.
In my opinion, he reminds me of like a flying scorpion.
I think that's probably what he's supposed to be.
And I really like scorpions. And like I like the like pinkish purple with the blue.
Even the shiny is
like,
pretty cool.
I don't know the shiny.
He's blue instead of purple.
Oh
like
yeah, I knew that. Yeah, no, I think it's just a good one. I think A is a good place to put it.
All right, nerds, I gotta hop off. Take care and have fun with the rest of the list. All right, Zach, I will catch you later. And yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Don't order nuclear material.
He's gonna do that regardless if you say anything. Steelix.
So I put Onyx pretty high up. If we were talking Mega Steelix, it would be pretty high up. But I think Steelix is just... I'm not a big fan of the metal coat evolutions. I'm gonna have to put Steelix
in the soup.
above Bellossom in C.
Wow.
I have two, like, is it better than Feraligatr, or could it take Feraligatr in a fight? And then I have is it worse than Bellossom? And that's kind of like my two judges.
I think it's top of A for me.
Above Ampharos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, again, it's a Pokemon that could really only exist in Pokemon. It's a design that could only exist within Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think that it does the Onyx thing, but better because it actually lives up to its design. Yeah, I don't know. He's a cool dude.
Okay.
But I'm also, I love the Steel type. I love Pokemon that fit the Steel type aesthetic.
Okay. No,
and
I get it.
Steelix is definitely that. Talking about Pokemon that do not have a Steel type aesthetic. Snubbull.
Yeah, I can work through the next 4 immediately. Okay.
That scares me.
B for Better Ball, and S for Scizor.
Oh, well, you said you weren't a fan of the Metal Coat evolutions.
Scizor does it right. Okay, so now place-wise, in terms of Quillfish and Scizor. Quillfish, I'm gonna put below Quagsire, above Espeon. And Scizor, I'm gonna put above Feraligatr. I think it can take Feraligatr in a fight. I think this is the one time the Feraligatr is not saying, I didn't hear no bell.
He did say, I didn't hear no bell, but he also got knocked out right afterwards.
Right?
And that pose is what he woke up to in the hospital. He was like,
yeah,
hey!
Yeah, anyways, so what about Snubbull and Granbull for you?
I do not like these Pokemon. Not because I dislike their design or anything like that. I don't really have an opinion on them. They just kind of exist. I like that they're fairy types. I think fairy type fits them pretty well. I just struggle to really think anything about Snubbull or Granbull. And I think for that, it's gonna go Snubbull in bottom of C tier and Granbull just slightly above that. I think that they're not bad designs. I just don't think that there's anything to really dwell on with these two, other than the fact that there's nothing to dwell on.
If we were taking anything other than looks into it, Scizor would be like D tier. Purely because of how much you beat my ass with it.
D for get destroyed. Quillfish. Quillfish is probably D tier for me. I can't really think of a reason I'd ever want to use one. I can't think of anything that draws me to Quillfish.
I think the reason I'm okay with Quillfish compared to like the other ball ones for the most part is, yes, it's a ball, but it's a pufferfish.
That is true. It is a pufferfish
when it's inflated. Like,
wait. Hear me out. Natu is a ball, but it's a bird.
Well, yeah, but like a puffer fish, when it, gets all spiky, it puffs up.
So the only thing I
A
can say
bird
about
does not
quillfish,
get all puffy when it gets angry.
the only thing I can really say about quillfish is I am pleasantly surprised when I am reminded of its existence. I don't think about it very often, even with its Hisuian form and evolution. It just exists. And outside of that, like, I think if they could have, there was a possibility for it to be something if they made it like the mimic of the sea. Like, if they made great balls, the pokeballs in the water, and then quillfish would sometimes be in them. But outside of that, and literally being used in Nuzlocke for explosion, that's all I can really think about quillfish. Scissor's an S.
Not S plus. Like, I thought Scizor was one of your favorite Pokemon.
Scizor is one of my favorite Pokemon, but we're talking about design. I like Scizor because of its playstyle. And its design, but its playstyle is what makes it one of my favorite Pokemon.
I do gotta say, it makes me think less praying mantis, like Scyther, and more metal bee.
Imagine
like,
that.
I could see
it's a
this...
bug steel.
Well, I'm saying like Beedrill, but with metal armor.
Yeah, if there's one thing that can kind of detract from the design for me is the claws. What the fuck are those doing? I think they are cool, but what the fuck are they doing?
If you look at mine, it looks like Scissor's like, "Hey, I'll fuck you up again." And Froligator's like, "Bring it."
Squaring up. Yeah, I feel like Sunflora and Scizor have the opportunity to move up. Right now, Scissor's probably better than Pichu. Yeah. Shuckle.
S plus for Shuckle. No.
I mean, you put Mr. Viz up there.
I like Mischievous.
I assume you like Shuckle too.
Put Shuckle above Quagsire and B. Not only is it just... I don't even know what it is. I believe it's a bug rock.
It is Bug Rock.
I also have a memory of, as a kid, of having a shiny Shuckle and not realizing it was shiny. But I feel like that was put into everyone's brain. Yeah. Out of all the Gen 2 Pokemon that got evolutions, I think Shuckle should have gotten an evolution. But even then, it's tanky already. And I know we're not talking competitive and stuff, but I just have to mention this. It's tanky already, and it's just there.
It is just there. I enjoy Wooper. I enjoy Quagsire. I enjoy Hoppip for being no brains as a design. But Shuckle doesn't really scream that to me. Shuckle screams to me like he's supposed to be at least somewhat smart and defensive. But then you see it in game, in battles and stuff like that, and it kind of just screams like it has no brain. I don't know. I'm getting conflicting messages from him. Is he dumb? Is he smart? He doesn't look dumb in these designs, but he plays dumb. And Yeah, he also just kind of has a punchable face as well.
I think of it more as like something that crawled into a rock and then got stuck. Like it didn't choose to be defensive, it just got stuck, and it's like, welp. But
Heracross.
no, I see what you mean. Heracross. Ooh, Heracross is S. Right next to Scizor. Probably below Scizor.
Also, fought the Feraligatr.
Do you see its horn? It threw for alligator. I believe Heracross is supposed to be a Hercules beetle. Fitting in the Hera cross. Which those things, they will launch like even similar, like same beetles. I really like Heracross, and probably because it really does scream a Hercules beetle, which I love beetles, especially the bigger ones. But it also, like, it's on 2 feet. It looks like it's ready to pull some fighting moves on you. It really fits its typing. And it is a very Pokemon for me.
I think it's a B tier for me.
Okay. That's not bad.
I don't see the fighting type in its design.
It looks less like a fighting, like, you know, taekwondo or martial arts or anything like that. It looks more sumo bug for me.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that. I think for me, I don't see fighting type when I look at it. And I think it's a cool design. I definitely like the bugs in this gen more than I like the bugs in most other gens. But Heracross is just all right. I think he's definitely upper mid, but I still think Heracross is low-key kind of mid.
Okay.
Sneasel.
I was dreading Sneasel because I don't know where to put it. I like Sneasel, but at the same time, I think it's just a little too edgy. And I get that's coming from someone who has had Zubat and Crobat in S+. I also just don't think it really fits the ice type that it has, because I believe it's dark ice, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it just doesn't really strike me with ice.
Well, it does. It's just maybe not in the design aspect.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna put it A above Umbreon, below Typhlosion.
I think that's a reasonable spot for it. Sneasel. I have a distinct memory about Sneasel, and it was the Pokemon Stadium 2. It was the Pokemon that had beat up, and then it would like send out your entire team, and that was fun. But outside of that, it looks like it's trying too hard, and not in like a comedic way. Like Murkrow's trying too hard, but like it's definitely like failing to do so. Sneasel looks like it's trying too hard, and it thinks it's doing okay about it. I think it's probably better than Cyndaquil.
I could see the argument I have with like the Ghastly line about how it's too overhyped. I could see the same thing being said about Sneasel. Like, I don't think I've really met anybody who's like, oh no, I hate the look of Sneasel. Like, a lot of people usually are like, oh yeah, Sneasel's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever met anybody that has like overly strong feelings about Sneasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about Teddy Ursa?
It depends. It depends on how nuclear your take is.
Teddy Ursa is above Yanma and S. Barely not S+.
Oh, see, I was gonna put it in soup.
Were you gonna put Teddy Ursa? Are you Do you not? You love Teddy Ursa.
Yeah, no, Teddy Ursa is an S. S plus actually.
Oh. Oh. I
Yeah,
was like, how?
yeah, I love Teddy Ursa. He's adorable. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. I'm seeing
Yeah.
there's a theme to my S pluses today.
They're just little guys.
They're just little guys. You have messed up little guy. You have messed up little guy. You have brainless little guy, and then you have little bear.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about Teddy Ursa. I just really like it.
That's adorable. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move on to Ursaring.
Yeah.
Ursaring is above Sneasel, below Typhlosion and A. I really like Ursaring. I think it's a great step above, like, it's a great evolution to Teddy Ursa, where it loses some of the cuteness, but it's still just a bear.
He is just a bear.
And then looking at, like, looking at the Celebi movie where, you know, Celebi's, I think, dying, and Ursaring's just like, and they follow the Ursaring. Like, it's just a cool Pokemon. But, I mean, the top of A tier for me so far is literally 2 bears. Like, what else is Typhlosion? Typhlosion is a bear.
Yeah, what is Typhlosion based off of? I mean, it's a weasel.
I think it's just because it stands on the 2 legs and stuff. I think bear. But yeah, it's a weasel.
For me, Ursaring is also A tier. The term I'm going to use to describe Ursaring is quiet power, where it exudes power and makes you respect it because it's powerful, but not in your face about it like Feraligatr.
Or Machamp.
Exactly. And yeah, I think it also has the back sprite. It has a really large poofy tail.
It does.
And I love that. Slugma nuts.
Slugma and Macargo, I forgot they were Gen 2. I thought they were Gen 3.
Of course you did. Because all the good designs has to be Gen 3.
You like Slugma and Macargo?
It depends on how nuclear your take is.
I'm putting Slugma in B. Above...
Sounds like you like Slugma too.
Above, Zatu. Sorry if you can hear Lagania. Macargo, I'm not as big of a fan. I get it's like a slug and a snail, or yeah, a slug and a snail. I just looked at its face again. It has such a dumb face. It's going right with Slugma and B.
Yeah, it is.
I looked right at it and I was like, that dude has no brain. Yeah, he's going right with Slugma.
Slugma is definitely like bottom of B tier. No, actually, he's C tier. He's not as cool as Typhlosion. Definitely better than Meryl though. Macargo is going like, I'm almost putting him in A tier. Oh, he's just so fucking dumb looking. Yeah, you know what? He's going A tier. He's so dumb looking, and I love him for it.
Like,
no, okay. I have to take the shock away from staring at his face, and think about him, and he's definitely better than Sneasel, but not quite Spinarak.
Okay.
But man, do I want to put him higher. He's really dumb looking. You know, and there's this. I guess I could talk about Slugma a little bit too. I think Slugma is a pretty cool design of you know, being this lava slug thing. I don't think that there's a lot of Pokemon that embody something like that. And that's why I kind of have an affinity towards Slugma. But Macargo, I mean, minus the fact that it's super dumb looking, I think it also like the lava snail thing is pretty cool. The fact that it is supposed to burn hot enough to hotter than the sun, and all that other stuff. Yeah, I like Macargo. I wish he was better.
Swinub.
Swinub.
I'm really curious about where you're gonna put Swinub because he's just a little guy. Swinub for me is going.
Remember, Diglett was F tier for me.
I know. Swinub is going above Chinchou in A tier. I like Swinub. I like how in Pokemon Explorers of Sky, there's that mini game where you have to look at footprints and you can see Swinub's footprints. I think he's like a little guinea pig, pretty much.
He's definitely a pig.
Piloswine, though, is going below Wobbuffet in D tier.
Below Wobbuffet in D tier. Yeah, I think I have to agree. Better than Jumpluff, better than Crobat. Yeah, I think right there is fine. Yeah, I like Swinub. I put him like high B tier. Same with Macargo. Very similar reasons. They're just dumb.
Macargo's got to go top or bottom of A tier. I'm sorry, I gotta move him up. I'm looking at some of the other ones, and I'm like, how is Quilava higher than Macargo?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Swinub's kind of adorable. But I don't really have very much to say about Swinub. I like Mamoswine a lot more than Swinub or Paloswine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Swinub's cool. It's a cool Pokemon. It's a good Pokemon to be the first stage. Piloswine sucks.
Piloswine looks more like it's going to evolve into a bug.
But that's the thing is we didn't get an evolution for like 10 years.
It was not 10 years.
Between Gen 2 and Gen 4?
I don't think so.
You might be right, but... Corsola.
Corsola's going A tier for me. I love Corsola.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, now I have to bring it down.
It's not quite the cargo level.
The reason I love Corsola, other than its living coral, is it's shiny. And we can't take into account it's shiny.
True.
I'm putting it much higher. I'm putting it above Shuckle in B tier. I also think it's time to move Quilava down to C tier.
I gotta check Palworld real quick and just see what's going on here.
Oh yeah, same. Looks good to me.
Yeah. For some reason, I kept thinking that all this stone was gonna be like... Oh, there's over 20,000 stone in this chest I'm standing on. Okay. Well,
yeah.
That's funny. Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna have stone for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Corsola... Corsola's a Pokemon I kind of forget about as well.
Real quick, I need to look to figure out, colds and sprains. Okay. One of the Tombats has a sprain.
Oh, no. I think Corsola's probably above Meganium for me. I think you put yours right next to Shuckle. I put mine right next to Shuckle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about Corsola. I can't really think of anything about it. I think Curstola or Cursola or whatever I think is cooler, but yeah. Remoraid.
He's just a fish.
No. He's a Remora.
I'm gonna put him below Pineco and B.
That's interesting. That's a lot higher than I thought.
It was, and then I started looking, and I was like, it's better than this one. It's better than this one. Like, yeah.
It's a low D tier for me. It's just a fish.
No, it's a Remora.
Talk about the weirdest evolution. Just a fish into just an octopus.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Octillery. I'm gonna put it under Steelix, above Bellossom and C.
Okay, okay. Octillery for me is probably, I think he's middle B tier. I think he's a cool enough design. I don't think that I also have, I know I have a problem with, because like when we get to Gen 8, Grapple Oct is like instantly S tier.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the design. He's unique enough. Most water Pokemon are just fish or blue.
Yeah.
And Octillery is a sea creature that is not a fish or blue. So, yeah. Delibird. You cannot think, don't even bring up Pokemon Stadium 2.
I'm not. Because if I did, I'd have to go S tier because of that fucking minigame.
That minigames are really fun. That entire fucking, all those minigames are so fun.
Right? We gotta rank those. He's going below Sea King and D. He's almost soup.
Well, considering there's no Seeking here.
Or Slowking.
Slowking. God, you really just hate the unique birds, don't you?
I just Delibird, like it. I hate it.
He's definitely
the only good thing it had was the
it's
mini
going right underneath Slowking for me, but Slowking's C tier for me.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think that it's cool that they made a bird that is based off Santa Claus. I think it's cool that they gave it its own unique move. I think it's all right. Mantine.
I guess.
Momo's begging for pets.
Ooh, Mantine. Mantine's got to be at least B tier for me. I think it's gonna be above Xatu, below Slugma.
Above Xatu and... Oh, did you say you need to move Quilava down?
Yeah, Quilava needs to go down to at least C. I think it's gonna go above Bellossom, below Octillery.
Bellossom really is the gatekeeper, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Mantine for me is also, like, kind of cool because, yes, it is a fish, but it's, like, a unique fish. And I know that I have an affinity towards the water type, so he's gonna go high B tier.
Well, and I
Or
think
mid-B tier.
the one that also helped me go up is Mantine Surfing in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yeah, I can see that. Skarmory.
Forgot that was a Gen 2 Pokemon.
You even said this last time we talked. You were like, I think I'm gonna be surprised at Skarmory's Gen 2.
Yeah. I always forget that Skarmory is Gen 2 because I've only ever found it in Hoenn. Skarmory is cool. I do like it. I don't like the name a whole lot, Skarmory, but I like it. It definitely is, for me, the personification of Steel Wing.
True. Which has a really cool animation, by the way.
Yeah. Can I have you
Scroll up.
I'm gonna put it above Ledian, below Togepi.
Above Ledian, below Togepi.
But that's also because I think Togepi and Giraffe Rig need to move
Down.
to... Yeah, need to move down below Steelix.
Like that?
Yeah.
Remoraid is better than Skarmory in your opinion?
All right, now put Skarmory out. I don't want to keep saying above Xatu.
Because that's who's your deal breaker in the B tier.
It is. Okay, yeah. What about Skarmory for you?
Like I said, I really like Pokemon that embody the Steel type. That being said, it is going right middle or lower B tier in next to Bayleaf, and that is specifically because 3D ruined Skarmory when they made it fly. I think it looks so stupid while it's flying, and I really hate any of the 3D designs of Pokemon that are like just in the air, just doing their thing. Like there are certain Pokemon like Beedrill that it works for, but like if you're not flapping your wings like a Pidgeot or something like that, Skarmory just looks really dumb in 3D.
Yeah, I mean Gyarados. I get Gyarados is a flying type.
Gyarados is a flying type. He's also a water type. Like,
well, yeah, but what I mean is like in Legends Arceus, you can find a flying Gyarados.
True.
And it is the weirdest thing.
Houndour.
Houndour is S at least. He might almost I think Houndour is S plus.
Yeah, that makes my take not as nuclear.
I would have just put it in A, but then as soon as I said that, I remembered Scarlet and Violet when you get surrounded by them.
They're so adorable.
And how adorable they are, and I was like, they gotta go up.
Yeah, they're so cute. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not much to say.
Yeah, I mean, I would be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't like Houndour. I don't think it's trying too hard. I think it's just a dog. It's just a devil
better
dog.
Fire dog than Growlithe.
Houndoom.
Houndoom I also really like.
Mostly watching his lore box rotate.
Of course he is. Mostly because of the Celebi movie, I like Houndoom. I think I'm gonna put it above Typhlosion in an A.
Above Typhlosion in A.
So it should be like top of A.
Top of A.
Right? Is there anything above Typhlosion?
No.
Yeah, no.
For me, I think Houndoom tries a little too hard. So it's going high C tier. I think that Houndour is very innocent and doesn't try too hard, and then Houndoom is trying just a little too hard to be edgy.
I think what would have completed it is the Mega Evolution having extra heads. Because when I see Houndoom, I think of like a Hellhound or like Cerberus.
Yeah. If
its Mega Evolution had 3 heads, I could see you putting it up further, because then it would be kind of a.
I actually like its Mega Evolution more than I like its base design.
Oh.
Because it is the Mega, so it's not trying too hard. But to go from Houndour to this, it's like,
yeah,
it makes sense, but it's just trying just a little too hard. I think if they didn't give it a tail, maybe. I think maybe the tail might just be a little too much.
Going from Scooby-Doo to Grandma.
Yeah.
On Skull Island.
Yeah. Every time I put a Pokemon in C tier, I'm like, Typhlosion feels way too low, and then I remember what it looks like in 3D, and I'm like, no, Typhlosion might go down.
So Typhlosion is the Machamp line for you for Gen 2, where you can't really keep moving it because every time you look at it, you're gonna move it down.
No.
That
was for it. Every time I've looked at for it, I want to move it.
That's Seeking, right? Or not Seeking, Kingdra.
Yep.
It's cool. It's a seahorse. And I like seahorses.
No, it's a king horse.
I'm gonna put it below Corsola, above Shuckle, and B. I have a lot of B tier Pokemon this time.
I mean, realistically, that's where most things are going to end up, just by normal bell curve.
Yeah.
You have a lot of S tiers this time.
I do.
Kingdra.
And we're about to reach another one.
Yeah. Look, another little dude.
Little guy.
Unfortunately, I already know he's going S+.
Same.
Kingdra for me, I feel like I don't really have any thoughts on. Like, Horsey sticks out to me as being like a cool seahorse design, and then Kingdra or Seadra Kingdra are both like there, and for that it goes above Chinchou. So Fampi to S+, right?
Yes. And just like F tier, it's the good soup.
But okay, last time you did order these.
Yeah, there's no ordering them this time.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to talk about Fampi, or you want me to?
He's just a little guy, and he's so
little
cute.
guy. He's just a little
And
guy.
he looks so happy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say. He has a little like bandage over his nose, like he was playing in the dirt and fell and got a little scratched.
You know he's walking up to you. He's like pat, 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 and he walks up to you and he goes and like with his trunk, but it's like so little that you can barely hear it.
Yeah, no, he is great.
No, Fampi is S+ tier design, 100%. 100%. Donphan.
I gotta keep Pokemon Stadium out of my head. Donphan. I think it's cool. It definitely loses every ounce of cuteness.
True.
But even then, it's not like bad. I still think it's kind of a good design. Will you show me? Oh, okay, you already are showing me my B tier. I'm gonna put it above Quagsire.
I think Donphan for me probably right below Heracross, top of B.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a really cool design. Fampi's fantastic. I love Fampi, but I don't feel bad evolving into Donphan.
Yeah.
You know, like Teddy Ursa into Ursaring, I'm like, I kind of miss you.
Yeah.
Wooper into Quagsire, I'm like, I kind of miss you. But
Turning into Sunflora.
Not so much. Okay, I have decided Sunflora is staying S tier, not S+.
Okay.
Because this design does not give me the same feeling as seeing it in game.
Okay.
But seeing Sunkern in game and seeing Sunkern here still fills me with that just regret that I live in the universe where Sunkern does not get to be a real boy.
Okay.
Porygon 2.
Porygon 2.
Try not to think about how OP it is when you summon him out of a Smash Ball or a Pokeball in Smash Bros.
It's like a rubber duck. And I kind of like it. It's definitely better than Porygon Z and Porygon. I'm going to put Porygon 2 above Xatu in B.
Okay. Porygon 2, I forget where I put Porygon, but I think I'm less warm on Porygon 2. Maybe that's my competitive side coming out, because I'm fucking sick of seeing Porygon 2.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, heck, in Indigo Disc, I used Porygon 2 with Eviolite.
Wow, you are the worst.
It was just take on the gyms, or the quote-unquote gyms, but yeah.
You're the worst. Yeah, I just, like... Why is this Porygon's evolution? I know why it's Porygon's evolution, but Porygon had a really cool design, and sleeking it out and everything makes sense in the evolution line, but it makes it a less unique design for me.
Yeah.
Goes below Shuckle.
Okay.
Stantler. Straight to S+.
Show me my A and S tier.
Oh, no. There's no way he beats Macargo.
I think it goes... It beats Macargo.
Oh, no.
It goes below Feraligatr in S.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a deer, and I love it.
Could not pass the vibe check against Feraligatr, though.
And just like Ursaring, it has that, like, little curly tail, that just poof of tail. I just like Stantler. There's not really much to say.
He's going D.
Oh.
I think he has a little bit of a conflicting design, in my opinion. Where I think he's trying to fill the role of being that quiet strength that I talked about with Ursaring.
Yeah.
But also, like, skittish.
Yeah.
Like looking at this Pokemon, I can't tell if it's gonna try and fight me or run away from me.
I think it's like they like took a picture of a moose and a deer and made them the same.
Yeah, and like this is the same generation with Delibird. Full send, make it a reindeer.
Yeah. I don't think I'd like it as much if it was a reindeer.
At least it would make a little bit more sense. Like, it's a normal type, first of all. Like, its antlers and everything, like, what is going on? It's just a dude, I guess. It's just a normal Pokemon. Like, but, like, its antlers kind of hint at it being, like, a psychic type, which I understand weirder is. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's more, like, they could have taken it a step further, and they didn't, and that's what disappoints me.
I think it has the opposite of what goes on with Deerling. I think they tried making too realistic of a deer.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, Deerling is just like a cute deer.
With flowers.
You know. But yeah, I love Stantler.
Fair enough. Smeargle.
I am almost tempted to put it in soup.
We're gonna try and finish this up by 3 hours 45 minutes.
We should get it done by then. I'm tempted to put it in soup. But I think it has the nice gimmick of a paint tail, so it's gonna go in D. And I think it's gonna go above Fortress, below Azumarill.
God, the fucking blue blob. I think Smeargle. See, this is the problem. Is I think Gen 2 is actually really polarizing for me. There are very few Pokemon that I feel like lukewarm on. It's either like really good designs or like I just think you're super forgettable.
Yeah.
So I think when we actually revise this, it's going to look very very different. Smeargle for me, being the unique Pokemon that learns Sketch, adds points to it for me, and all that. And I think that it's no, you know what? I think minus its paint tail, it's just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So high D tier. Tyrogue, you already said F tier, right?
Yes. Soup.
I like Tyrogue.
Guy soup.
You got quite the soup going on this time.
I do. It is okay. So it's a baby Pokemon, which already takes it down. I hate the way it evolves with the fact that, you know, it has to have a higher attack stat or a higher defense stat or a equal. Like, I hate the whole gimmick with it. And I don't like the fact that it always looks like it's gonna try to tackle me, despite despite the fact that it looks 1 foot tall.
I love that though. That's my favorite part about Tyrogue is he's just a little guy, but he's training to be something more than himself. And I think his design tells that story really well of him like he's looking like he's about to fuck shit up. He's gonna, or at least he's gonna try, and he's probably gonna get his ass kicked, but he's gonna learn and he's gonna persevere. He's the protagonist of his own story.
Yeah, and he can be the protagonist of the soup.
Hitmontop.
Not Pokemon Stadium 2.
Oh, that one's a banger though.
It is. It's gonna have to be C tier at the most.
That is
I'm
higher
not a
than
big
you
fan of
rated both
Hitmons.
Hitmons.
Yeah. The only difference this one has is instead of being like a fudge sickle or just a dude, like this one is more like reminds me of a top than any.
Well, imagine that. He's a top.
Exactly. I'm gonna put him above Blossom and C.
There it is. There's the Blossom Gatekeeper again.
Right.
I think Hitmontop's pretty well designed in my opinion. I think he's probably better than Latiba. Low B tier. I think he's unique as far as fighting types go. He's not big and bulky. He looks limber. Imagine that. That's his ability.
Eh.
Yeah. I don't really have very many notes about him on top. I think he's just a cool guy.
All right, on to Soupchum.
Soupchum.
It's going in the soup. Just like its evolution, Jinx went in the soup.
Do you want to talk about Smoochum at all?
It's nightmare fuel. Enough said. Oh, it's also going in the soup for you.
Oh no.
Electkid. I like Electkid.
Oh, so now baby Pokemon are okay.
I like the fact that it has a plug, make it look like an electric type without being Pichu. But yeah, it also still has the like almost arm hair look of its arms that Electabuzz has.
True.
I just think it's a good baby Pokemon. I'm gonna put it.
Right?
I want to put it above Quillfish, below Quagsire. Pichu is still my favorite baby Pokemon so far. And I actually think I gotta move Pichu up to A, but we'll visit that later.
Okay. It's happening. It's happening, folks. Electkid. Electkid goes higher than Sneasel. Higher than Swinub. I wish Electkid was Gen 1. I wish that he wasn't a baby Pokemon because I think he's a really unique design.
Yeah.
And I actually prefer his design to Electabuzz, honestly. And Electabuzz I think is a cool design too. Bad designs. Magby.
Soup. No, it's not soup. It's borderline soup. It's below Deli Bird.
Really?
I don't like any of the Magmar line.
But you put Magmar in the soup.
Did I put Magmar in the soup?
I'm pretty sure you put Magmar in the soup.
Then it's got to be in the soup.
I don't like the Magmar line either.
Yeah.
But yeah, Magby as well. Like, why do they need to exist? Even Magmortar. At least Magmortar has a little bit of coolness to him, but now Miltank.
Flaffy with udders. This is the gen that made or broke everybody on Miltank.
Yep.
I don't hate Miltank. It's a cute little cow, and I love cows. But I feel like I can't place it too high, or else everyone's gonna think I want to fuck the cow. I'm putting it above Quagsire in B.
All right, so here's my problem with Miltank. I have this photo on my phone, and I don't know where it came from. I have no idea where I got it from, but it is a Cyndaquil sucking on the teat of a Miltank.
Why do you have that?
I don't know. Just know I had it on my phone, and now like when Austin's looking extra fine, I send it to him. Or like something like that. It's like my like flirty text to all my boys.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't like Miltank. Anything is going D tier for me. I can't really think of like a redeeming factor. Its playstyle doesn't look like how it should play. I hate the fact that like in 3D when it moves, it like fucking like spins and shit, and I'm like, you are too big for that.
It also has jiggle physics.
Yeah, like you know, Snorlax took how long for it to be able to stand up, and I feel like Miltank should have taken equally as long.
I feel like Miltank should have been on 4 legs.
Oh, that would be weird. I wonder. I don't even know what that would look like. Blissey.
It would look like a cow.
I guess so.
Blissey takes the axolotl away.
Yes.
Of Chansey, which is good.
Yes.
I also didn't realize it was a Gen 2 Pokemon.
You thought it was Kanto?
No, I thought it was Sinnoh.
Really? Nope, that's Happiny.
Yeah.
Baby Pokemon.
I thought Happiny and Blissey came out in Gen 4. Blissey is okay in my opinion. I'd put it below Togepi and C.
Momo, make up your mind. Are you sitting up here or not? Blissey for me, I think is another serviceable design. Goes below Gramble. I don't really have any thoughts about it. Like, it looks like a Cleric. It is a Cleric. That's all I got. Raikou.
Ooh, the legendary dogs. Let me think on all 3 of them.
Okay.
Real quick.
They're all S for me. I think Entei is the weakest. I think Suicune's the strongest.
Could you roll up on mine? Thank you.
So, while you're thinking, I'm gonna gush about the designs. I think these 3 are some of the best design legendaries ever. I think that they exude awesomeness in a way that legendaries should. They're awe-inspiring. You look at their designs and you see them on like Pride Rock from Lion King overlooking a kingdom. You know, each of them being the embodiment of, you know, fire, thunder, and the northern wind doesn't help in the fact that they are awe-inspiring. Yeah, I think the only thing that takes away from them is A, they're roaming, and B, like they're supposed to be cool, and I think and you know what, Suicune's S+. I talked myself into it. The first non-little dude that goes in S+. And actually, it's top of S+. I think Suicune's probably one. It's up there with Gyarados as being the best design Pokemon of all time.
Okay.
Raikou and Entei, I think, stay. Entei is slowly falling out into A tier, just because I think he's just a little too bulky. And he just screams, "I'm a dad." Which probably doesn't. The movie probably didn't help, but yeah, that's what I got for you.
Okay. Mine's gonna look a little different. It's gonna be Suicune and S. Entei in A and Raikou in B.
Okay. You want to place them, or did I place them right? Is Raikou worse than Jumpluff?
No. Suicune. Suicune's above Totodile. Below Cyndaquil.
Fought through fucking Feraligatr.
Entei is below Ursaring, above Sneasel. And Raikou, I'd put
Above
below
Xatu.
Corsola, above Kingdra.
Kingdra. Cool. Speak your mind.
Suicune, best out of the three. Like, I like the legendary dogs. Some of them more than others, obviously. Suicune definitely is a good legendary Pokemon. Entei is still a really good looking legendary Pokemon, but it has a mustache.
It does have a mustache.
And Raikou, I just don't like how it kind of took like Suicune's body, but was like, oh, we got to make it electric. Let's have a little electric tail. Like, I just don't like Raikou as much.
That's fair. You're ready for me to ruin a Pokemon for you?
Sorry, what was that?
I said, are you ready for me to ruin a Pokemon for you?
Okay, which one?
Feraligatr.
Uh-oh.
Feraligatr is me when my girlfriend is taking off her clothes to go into the shower.
Alright, S plus.
Chat, I don't have a girlfriend.
To stay there.
Larvitar.
Oh, Larvitar. The whole, oh my god, okay.
Bangers.
Pupitar is D.
Go, I'm clicking mine.
I'm gonna put it right with Fortress, above Slowking. It's a nice middle evolution when you consider the fact that it really looks like Tyranitar just grew around Pupitar with the little piece in his chest.
Yeah, I never really thought about that.
Larvitar is S+. It's just a little guy. And Tyranitar is top of S.
Did he fight Feraligatr?
Yes, he is below Teddiursa. Because Teddiursa is borderline S+. Yeah, he bodied Feraligatr.
That's crazy. Feraligatr made it to the second row of S for you.
I know. I think only like one Pokemon beat Machamp.
Larvitar is middle of B. Pupitar is low B. Tyranitar can be A. Yeah. High A. Entei's moving down. Entei is going to be right next to Tyranitar. So I'm not as high on this line as I think most are. I think Tyranitar is an awesome dude. I hate the fact that he's shorter than Charizard. And that makes things a little bad for me. But yeah, I think he's awe-inspiring in a way a pseudo legendary should be. He is what a good pseudo legendary should look like. It shouldn't be Dragonite. It shouldn't be Salamence. It should be Tyranitar. Larvitar.
I mean, he looks as imposing as the mountains he eats.
Yeah, exactly. Larvitar, I think, is just a little dude, but not in the way that, like, Fampy's a little dude. I think he's just an angry little dude, but, like, not in a cute, angry kind of way. I think he's just, like, hostile. Like...
if I remember correctly, Larvitar is, like, 4,000 not kilometers. Kilograms. Like, he's massive, and Ash held him.
Yeah. Yeah, he strikes me as like a Pokemon. I don't know if he's in Legends Arceus, but if he is, or if he isn't, he definitely would be the Pokemon that like would try to fight you on sight.
Yeah, no, he's not in Legends Arceus.
And he's way too little to be trying to fight people on sight.
Right.
Pupitar is giving me big Kakuna energy, and for people that didn't watch the first tier list, I put Kakuna pretty high.
He did,
because it exuded that angriness that is coming from Beedrill. Pupitar is a little bit lower because Tyranitar doesn't exude that same just bitter anger and hatred, but Pupitar still has a little bit of personality to it.
I mean, when I see Tyranitar, I think of the Celebi movie again. Before it gets captured by the Dark Ball, and it comes out of the cage, and it's all like, what's going on? Like, all scared and stuff, you know? It's this giant, imposing thing.
Yeah. And then you find out that it's tiny. Let me look up how big it is.
While you do that, I'm going to explain the next three.
Go for it. Oh, he's 6'7".
Lugia... Oh, damn.
Yeah. He's slightly taller than us.
Lugia is one of my favorite legendary Pokemons. Just below Dialga. Lugia is going top of S. Above Teddiursa.
It beat Feraligatr.
Yes. It just smacked it with one of his big wing hands. Ho-Oh, not as much. I do like Ho-Oh, but not as much as Lugia. Ho-Oh is going above Typhlosion in A tier. And Celebi is going right below Lugia in S tier.
Damn, you really like the legendaries in this gen.
And it is, unfortunately, purely because of the Celebi movie.
Okay. Do you want to keep talking while I put some nuclear takes on board?
No, I want you to explain yours. At the end of the day, I can't say that your takes are wrong because I just...
Alright, starting with the easiest one for me to explain, I think Ho-Oh is a really cool design. The Phoenix symbology will always work on me. And actually, I'm moving it up. It needs to be up here, at least. And I like that it's not just like a flaming phoenix like Moltres. I like that it's like more colorful and everything. And I really enjoy that. Yes, it is another fire flying type in a game that had less than 200 Pokemon at the time. No, more than 200. 252 is yeah. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoy Ho-Oh. Celebi is just a guy. I understand the nostalgia for Pokemon Forever. But if you're gonna put that so high, then Suicune needs to be higher as well. Like, I think Celebi's fine. I don't really understand why it need to have time travel. Nothing about it screams time travel to me. I think if it was just the Guardian of the Forest, maybe it would fit that role a little bit better as just being a tiny little fairy. And in that, it does its job. It is still the higher end of mid. I've never liked Lugia. I've never liked Lugia's design. Even Shadow Lugia, as much as I used to like it as a kid, I just liked Shadow anything. I hate its hand wings a lot. I think that it is probably one of the stupidest designs in a Pokemon. I hate the fact that it is not a water type. It should have been water flying. I hate that it's portrayed as being this guardian of the ocean, and then it just like is a random psychic type. I think the wing hands are doing so much to lower it for me, because if it just had regular wings, the rest of the design is redeemable. I just think that the wing hands are absolutely trash and probably the worst idea that they've ever had. That being said, I do have a little bit of piece of trivia about Lugia, because Lugia was not part of the original Johto Pokédex, and it was added after Pokemon the Movie 2000. Oh, okay. Well, that's tragic. Azura just said that her internet went out, so that is the end of her tonight. Unfortunately, we have to play by the rules of everything else going on. So, yeah, we will. I don't know. Maybe when we want to go back over this stuff, or when we complete everything, we'll like change stuff. But yeah, that is what I'm feeling about those. What I was saying about Lugia is Pokemon the Movie 2000. Lugia was created to be just a character, and then the test audiences really grew attached to Lugia, and so they made it a legendary Pokemon. But Lugia was not originally planned to be part of Johto. So, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, that is all of Johto, all of Gen 2. Azura's not here, so we can't go over what the different surprises and stuff like that, but I guess I can go over mine real quick, and talk about some of Azura's. I do not usually gravitate towards super cute Pokemon being my favorite, but Gen 2 has a lot of really good designs in them. And as we said before, like my S plus tier is definitely filled with a bunch of just little guys. And then Suicune. Like I said earlier, Suicune and Gyarados are probably some of, if not the best designed Pokemon ever created. My S tier, I don't think that there's anything that really sticks out to me as like surprising per se. Pichu maybe, because again, like not usually a cute little guy type of guy, but yeah, I just think that like I don't think this is a trend going forward. I think Johto just did a really good job on some of their really cute designs. A tier. Quilava staying this high for so long kind of surprises me, but I really do think that Quilava is a really good design, and probably one of... I mean, this is what happened last tier list as well, because I put Charmeleon super high. I think I put Charmeleon A tier as well. But, yeah. Outside of that, nothing really surprises me. I think going into it, I wouldn't have put Ampharos so high, but thinking about it more, I think Ampharos deserves to be here. B tier. I think for B tier, Heracross through Elekid should be A tier. And then I think everything else in here would probably stay through to probably Pupitar. Pupitar down should probably go down to C. I think Gen 2 is very polarizing or forgettable for me. Either they're really good or they're really bad, and not very much in between. So yeah. I think going forward, I might try and set tiers up to be like, this is the gatekeeper to this tier, and then that way it's like, okay, well, is Delibird better than Latiba? No. Okay, so it's C tier. Is it better than Snubbull? Yes. So, and I could probably organize this stuff better to do that. C tier. Well, I guess out of Pokemon in here, I don't think I went into this thinking so highly about Hoot Hoot. And then, yeah, I don't think I was going to like Latiba that much. But again, he's like middle of mid, honestly. Again, every time I look at Typhlosion, I just think, like, wow, that seems really low. And then I remember it's 3D Sprite, and it's awful. C tier, nothing really stands out or surprising. Yeah, I mean, maybe Houndoom's a little low, but D tier. I don't think I expected to put a starter this low, but I think that's fine. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good tier list. As far as Azura's goes, I mean, it just makes sense. She's a wacky little gal. Crobat being this high is crazy to me. Same with Lugia, obviously. Just went on a whole tangent about it. But yeah, I think, like, looking at, like, everybody's gonna have their favorite Pokemon and everything. But looking at, like, Pokemon that she thought were awful, I can't really find anything that I'm like, I have to disagree with. Like, I can't believe that she did that. Like, I understand her reasoning for everything. So, yeah. Let's go back to this. And, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. We had a good crowd here tonight, and it was a lot of fun. I'll be uploading this to YouTube, and feel free to watch it there and hang out and let me know what you like, what you dislike, and how to improve. Me and Azura are having a ton of fun doing this, and yeah, we just want it to be a great time, and leave ideas as well for any kind of ranked tier list. We're not just going to do Pokemon. Azura and I talked today about, like, levels in Halo, or, you know, stuff like that, and this is just a lot of fun. I am back. Oh, do you want...
Hello?
Are you there?
Hello.
Hey, sorry.
I had to restart my entire router.
When I'm streaming, I won't be able to hear any Discord notification.
Yeah, that's why I messaged in the chat.
Yeah, okay, well, I guess I can edit some of this stuff. Let's go back to this then.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. Is there anything on your tier list that surprises you? Like, going into it, you're like, oh, like, I don't think I think that highly about this Pokemon, or I don't think this lowly about this Pokemon. Let me stream back to you. This one. There we go.
I definitely think, like, I mean, I had to move it down towards the end, but I'm surprised Quilava stayed in B for so long.
Yeah.
You know, and then, like, Pichu, I still think I need to move Pichu up to A, at least. And I think it's going to have to go below Ursaring, above Entei.
Okay.
I'm surprised I gave it such a low one, but I think it's just because
You can't take away the hatred for Pikachu.
No, it wasn't because of that. I can look at Pikachu and Pichu differently. I mean, I put Raichu pretty far up. I just said, you know, it's not as good as a lowland Raichu.
Right.
It was partially you were like, okay, take off the cute goggles. The biggest part of Pichu is it's adorable.
It is horrendously adorable. Like I want to throw up in my mouth adorable.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised how high I put Jumpluff.
Same.
That one to me kind of came as a surprise to me, even, you know.
But I mean, I was talking about this while you were gone. Like I have Latiba in the same spot that you have Jumpluff at bottom of B tier. That is mid of the mid. When you think about it like that. That's a trap I keep running into of like feeling like B and C are like high, but it's like they're actually just mid.
As we put it, redeemable.
Yeah.
I don't think I put any Pokemon in F that I didn't already know I was going to put in F.
Interesting.
I think the only one is Ariados. Ariados is the only one I could have said I did not think I was going to put in F. I thought I was going to put him in C or D.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something about it. I just can't look at it for too long without like freaking out. Yeah, you know, it doesn't really surprise me. What surprises me is how many Pokemon came from Gen 2.
Yeah, and
I thought it was like
this,
less than 50.
And I was talking about this as well, like Gen 2 feels very polarizing. I either love a lot of the designs or I absolutely hate them or they're forgettable. But there's not really a lot that I feel like are in between. I would probably say, like, out of my mid-tier, I think realistically there's probably only 20 Pokemon that actually belong in here. And I have probably close to 40.
Well, and I know, like, it's also hard because it feels wrong to skip a tier. You know, because as you said, it's kind of polarizing. Like, I could see myself putting about half of the Pokemon in B in A and half of them in C,
right,
and just completely skipping B. But then it feels wrong.
Right, and that's where these tier lists are fun. Is like, and why like putting different things into context can change. Like, you know, if we put like all the starters in a tier list, does Feraligatr still end up this high, or Totodile still end up this high? Maybe not. Maybe it does.
No, I get exactly what you're talking about. I did not expect to have this many S pluses.
Yeah, I think even I forget about how many like good designs. I was telling this to chat while you were gone as well. Like, I'm not usually a sucker for just cute little guys, but I think Gen 2 did it the best that it's ever been.
Yeah, like I didn't think Spinarak was gonna be S plus. I also didn't think. I forgot Houndour was Gen 2. I thought it was Gen 3. Which is weird because Celebi movie. It's just
there
like
it is again.
Whenever I
Giving
played
credit
Gen 2,
to Gen 3 for things other gens did.
I know.
I was trying to do that in a Donald Trump accent. It didn't work out.
Every time I've played Gen 2, I always end up with kind of the same team, you know? And unfortunately, it misses a lot of my S plus Pokemon because I just never knew where to find them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. It's really hard to remember exactly which ones are in which because I just don't know where they are.
Right. Yeah, I think if I had to point out something that was super surprising to me, definitely feeling the way I did about Sunkern and Sunflora. I've never like sat there and thought about those two. You know, I other times in my life I would probably say Sunkern's like one of the worst Pokemon ever created. But that was genuinely surprising to me about feeling the way I did about Sunkern, honestly. Um,
Right? The bombshell you dropped of just immediately, like, without thought, putting in an S plus before we even reached it.
yeah, yeah. Um, that was more for the audience so that they had something to look forward to. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think that this was a good list. I think that there were some fun surprises in it, and yeah, I mean it's just fun to kind of go back and look at all these. I think I'm about to have some nuclear takes about Hoenn next week, though.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm thinking about it, and I don't think that there are very many Pokemon in that I consider good designs.
There are some that, like, from the get go, I'm gonna have S pluses.
Yeah, oh yeah, Mudkip, yeah.
Mudkip, Swampert, Mega Swampert.
Yeah, I mean like, yeah, people are gonna be really upset when I put Kyogre F tier.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's a beloved Pokemon. People are gonna be upset that it's.
No, I'm
it's that low.
surprised you're putting it in F.
I mean, it'll depend. It'll depend, but
It might be soup.
yeah, it might be the whale soup.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for next week. Next week is one of the gens I hold very beloved to my heart.
Yep.
Um,
You know, I used to feel the same way about Sinnoh, and then I went back and like actually looked at Sinnoh, and I was like, this gen sucks.
I look at Gen 3 through rose tinted goggles.
As do
Um,
most.
in all honesty, like a part of me wants to like play through Gen 3 again before next week, just to get a feel of the actual generation. But at the same time, I'm kind of waiting to be surprised by the Pokemon in it.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
there's
it's a
some
fun.
that I'm always going to remember, like Poochyena, Mudkip, that kind of stuff. But wait a second, where's Nosepass?
Nosepass is Gen 3. That's why it's Roxanne's ace.
I would have put Nosepass in Gen 2. I
Yeah.
was putting a bad Pokemon in Gen 2, but putting all the good Pokemon in Gen 3.
I think people do the same thing with Gen 5 a lot. They just like put like all of the bad Pokemon in it, and they're just like, this is where it all went wrong.
And then look at like a Litwick and like, that's a Gen 5 Pokemon.
Exactly.
Or
And
a
then
Gen
we're
6.
gonna get to Gen 7 and we're gonna be like, wow, all of these Pokemon are trash. Except for Vikavolt.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of surprising. It's always surprising when you lay out something like this, you know? And I'm definitely looking forward to, the soup tier list and
Yeah,
the
that's gonna be a lot of fun.
pluses,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
to really sit there and
and we
look at
can
all the Pokemon we consider bad and going, wow, some of these are way better than the others.
yeah, and if we want to like take a week to like do something else, we totally can. Because like this is about to be 4 hours, which is much better than we did for Kanto. But I mean, we're just gonna yap. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna yap. So, and Hoenn, I mean, Johto has the second least amount of new Pokemon in a gen.
Which
I
one
think
has the lead?
Gen 6.
Oh, okay, so there's gonna be more next week.
Yeah, yeah. I think Hoenn
I
has,
feel like
adds 130?
Damn.
I
think it's gonna go a little bit faster.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Because-
gonna yap, and that's okay.
Yeah, we just gotta try to start a little bit earlier, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But it also just depends on work schedules.
yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up stream real quick, and I will catch you on the flip side.
Okay.
So, thank you all for tuning in. I know I've already started this little spiel, but yeah, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, we're gonna be doing. I'm trying to do this every Tuesday, starting around this time, maybe a little bit earlier, depending on work scheduling. But this was the absolute earliest I could get it today, unfortunately. That being said, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Had a great little audience going on. Yeah, shout outs for the end. I'm getting Azura to make some social media so that she can get shouted out. So look forward to that. And as far as me, you can check me out on Twitter, Calico1738. That is where I would do all my announcements if I had any following. I just don't want to do it on Instagram. I don't know. But also check out the podcast. I've linked it a few times. And Vivian's like, hey, do this. It's socials and podcast. I don't know how to set up a shout out. So, but anyway, yeah, please check out the podcast. Me and Zach work work very hard to make it really fun. And it's a good time. If you like the humor that that me and Azura have and Zach has while he's here, come check it out. And yeah, we'd love to get some feedback on that as well. Until next time, goodbye, everybody.